Hey, you, come, gather around the campfire, and welcome to the party. This is Party Chat, a JRPG podcast where we talk about everything that we love in the world of JRPGs and other Eastern titles. I am one of your hosts, Cameron Hawkins, and with me, as always, is my party partner, Kevin Kenson. Kevin, how you doing this week?
Can't complain. A little tired, a little eepy, a little manic, but overall good. You know how it goes.
We're always a little leapy. Uh, yeah, like things are going good. I had been actually a pretty good week. Love Island just ended. So been watching that. Watched Superman, enjoyed that. Thought it was pretty good. And Twice come back, baby. So I'm eating. I'm feasting. So but with us this week, we have a special guest that I'm super excited to talk with because they also like K-pop. They also follow a lot of the same interests as me, so excited to dig deep into this. We got Orbalology with us, Emily from the JRPG Pursuit podcast. Emily, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Happy to be here. And I want to hear your take on the Twice comeback.
You know, I'm glad that you opened this up because I wanted. So normally, I don't know if you listen to the podcast, and that's okay if you don't.
I do.
Me and Kevin normally have like this 10-minute. I go on like a 10-minute spiel about some random non-related shit. And you can totally swear on the podcast, by the way. We don't give a fuck.
All right.
And this week I was like, yo, this first 10 minutes, I just want to talk with Emily about K-pop. Let the
Let's talk
K-pop
about
happen.
I'm gonna go make a sandwich.
Yeah. No, I think I'm admittedly, and like again, Twice is my old group. Jonghyun is my bias. If anyone cares about knows about Twice, that's listening. Admittedly, when I first heard the whole album, I was underwhelmed.
Yeah.
And that made me sad.
Yeah.
That made me sad. But I will say that there are some songs I do really like. And I think that there are songs that I initially was like, oh, okay, like that was fine, that I like more. I think it's definitely one of those kind of albums that come around every now and again, just like with any artist, where you just kind of need to give it a few listens and then you get a better grasp of like, oh, okay, I do like this, I don't like this, like, I definitely don't think it's their strongest full album, because this is, for those that are listening, this is like K-pop has this whole thing with a bunch with mini albums and then full albums, and Twice has been a group for like 10 years now, and this is technically their fourth full album. I definitely think my opinion will not change when I say that I think Eyes Wide Open, their second full album, is their best.
That's my favorite. I
I
think we're clued in here. I'm agreeing with everything.
Yeah, I think it's a 10 out of 10 album. Like I love that album so much. And then I think Formula of Love is also very, very good.
Yeah.
But this one I was like, I gotta give it a few more listens. And it sucks too, because I really like the concept. I really like the blue fits with the 4 on the skirt. I was just like, oh, they're cooking something. And I do like this 4. It's a little short, but I enjoy it.
Yeah, the 2-minute song was, that's the trend now, which is unfortunate, I think. But I guess they got to make those TikTok stuff. But yeah, for me, it was a bit of a disappointment as well, because I think I like more poppy Twice than them trying to go the more, slow hip hop route. I do wonder if they're kind of influenced, from their last comeback with Megan Thee Stallion. They're trying to, go a little bit that direction, but I don't know.
It's tough because I love girly pop, like absolutely.
Yeah. It's a little cheesy though, the lyrics for me, at least as English speakers. This is for my ladies. I cringed a little bit when I first heard that.
I like that part.
You do? Oh no.
Yeah.
After a while, I got used to it, but initially I was like, oh no, what is this?
No, for sure. I do think it was definitely different for. It was definitely different for Twice, and like sure. I think I don't think it's like entirely the issue or like a major criticism, but I think also just like because they're not completely fluent in English, like they're probably looking for songs that are just easier to sing, especially because there are so many English tracks this go around. Like normally we get like, a few, but this is like primarily in English. And I think that might have affected some things as well.
Though I do love their first English song, The Feels. Yeah, that's like one of my favorite Twice songs.
See, I'm not crazy about The Feels.
Oh?
Like I think Feels is like I don't
it's
think
so fun.
there's the only title track or comeback track that I genuinely to this day am very like this is easily the worst of them all for me is Knock Knock.
Okay.
I'm not crazy about Knock Knock, but The Feels is like near the bottom for me. Like it's not a bad song, but it's like
it's not your favorite. That's fine.
Like versus like Strategy or if you listen to like the English version of like Set Me Free or some of their other comeback tracks, like I like those more. Like I don't know.
No, those are good too. I totally feel you there. And I think maybe the biggest issue with their timing with this comeback and all the English tracks is that they are kind of competing with what they did for K-pop Demon Hunters and just that caliber of songwriting for English K-pop tracks, and you can't help but make comparisons. So that's what I've been having on repeat lately. I haven't been listening to as much Twice as I normally would when they have a comeback, because I like Twice as well. But right now K-pop Demon Hunters kind of has a hold on me musically.
Yeah, I've heard it's really good, and I want to watch it. And it's funny, like no one in my house like messes with K-pop.
How have I watched?
All of them have seen it except for me. I have not seen it yet.
You should see it. There's Twice in it.
Like
they do one of the songs at the end.
I haven't had the time. I just haven't taken the time. I've been good about playing more Legend of Dragoon. I'm almost done with Lunar. So we haven't announced it yet, but Lunar is our like new campfire catalog after Legend of Dragoon. And I'm done with that one, but I'm not done with Legend of Dragoon.
Yeah, I mean, the remaster is
game.
much easier to autopilot as well. The
100%.
Remaster, at least. Not as true for the original, but the remaster one, you can blaze through that game with like minimal thought. Not quite as true for Legend of Dragoon.
I recently finished actually Lunar, the Silver Star Story, the remaster. I think it took me 16 hours. I took 3 days to beat it because I was really keyed in. I was like,
it's really good.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'll talk about it a little bit, like not going spoiler depth this week, but I'm actually thinking of like, would it be crazy if we just did both games for the Campfire catalog, just talked about them as a duology, because like they're pretty easy to get through. You know what I mean? But Kevin also needs to play Trails in the Sky.
I need to catch up on a lot of things right now. My upcoming list is not. I picked a bad month to check out a little bit, so I need to do some catch up right now.
Hot summer. I think it's valid.
So one last thing, K-pop related before we jump into housekeeping. So like I know that you are more into the older groups a bit, if I remember correctly from like our little exchanges on Twitter. But like for the groups that are out right now, like who are the groups that you like really dig?
The new ones, I'm a big NMIX fan. I really like them.
Yeah, NMIX is great.
But I feel like I've been into K-pop for over 10 years. So I think early on, it was very easy, to watch variety shows and get attached to a lot of groups and kind of see their music progression. All the newer groups, I kind of just listen to on shuffle. Like, I don't know the member names or anything. I don't get as invested into them. So I don't know if that's because I've been burned in the past with, disbandments and other kind of issues with some of the older groups. But I just been enjoying just a catalog of songs. But NMIX is definitely one I've been keeping up with because they're just pretty good singers. Like, they make good music.
Oh, yeah. Lily is like one of the best singers in K-pop
Lily's
right
great.
now. Yeah, NMIX is definitely on the list. Like I don't know if I'd go too far as to say like I would like pay to go see them on tour, but like I definitely it would depend on the price. It would depend on the prices, right? Like because like I want to see La Seraphim, and I saw the prices in Vegas, and I literally laughed out loud. I was like, no, this is crazy. Like, you can't make me pay these prices.
Concert prices these days are awful. Like, I used to see a lot of K-pop acts when they first, started doing more of them, like around 2015. Like
Okay.
tickets were not that expensive and not competitive, but now it's like I haven't seen a show actually since Twice when they came.
You saw them in SoFi last time?
I saw them in SoFi, yeah.
Me too. I was there too. Yeah, I swear, Emily, I bought this like when the tickets dropped. I got the very middle of the stage, 4th row from the front.
Oh,
Like,
that's nice.
I still don't know to this day how I got it.
Sometimes, the K-pop gods smile upon you.
Honestly, going to a concert by yourself,
Mhm.
it sucks because you're going by yourself.
Yeah.
But you have you have better opportunity to get much better seats if you can afford it.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it's sometimes, nice to talk to your neighbors. Like it's always cool to see other K-pop fans,
Yeah, one guy I was kind of talking to, the other guy was like completely silent the entire time.
Oh.
And he was recording the entire concert. And I'm like, oh, you're one of those guys. Which,
One of those.
do what you do.
Just enjoy.
But like, I just
But
be in the moment, dog. Like, be in the moment. Okay. But that's great. Yeah. I mean, I'm outside of that. I saw XG in Vegas last year.
Well, that's fun.
I think they're the most like they're so talented. It's crazy.
I like them a lot too.
Yeah.
And I
they're
agree
going through
with everyone's takes on all of this.
Yeah. And they're going through some stuff right now, and I don't know how I feel about it yet. Well, I know how I feel about it, but like I don't know what I'm gonna do because I think they're super talented too. But I'm a big Kiss of Life fan too. So yeah, gotta figure that out. But
I feel
yeah, those are currently my top 3. Twice, XG and Kiss of Life. But I also saw Purple Kiss in January in LA, and they were great. So
yeah, I hear really good things. I have a good friend who's a big fan and goes to like all their fan signs whenever they're here.
Alrighty, Kevin, thank you for entertaining us to have that conversation on the podcast.
But my only addition to it is that I still can't believe I saw K-pop Demon Hunters before you.
Yeah,
that just surprised. I just assumed you had watched it. You didn't want to bring it up on the pod for whatever reason. Oh no, we'll talk about it at some point, I guess. You just haven't seen it.
That K-pop has Twice in it. Yeah, I'm surprised too.
Kevin, do you want me to do some homework and watch it so we can talk about it next week in the beginning of the pod?
Hey, sure. We'll do an update next week talking about our thoughts on K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yes, on this JRPG podcast.
Hey, Eastern stuff. Why not?
Yeah. But we're going to get into some housekeeping for this week. If you have been enjoying the podcast, please go to your podcast platform of choice. Give us a 5-star rating there. Go to youtube.com/@partychatjrpgpod and hit the subscribe button over there. Helps with exposure, helps us out a lot. We really appreciate it. And if you want to throw a little bit of money our way, we do have a Patreon where we have a few tiers that give rewards like getting the podcast a day early, access to our exclusive Discord, where we're always talking about stuff at this point. The Discord's really popping. Despite the few the little number of people in there, Discord's popping. And then we have a monthly Q&A where you can ask me and Kevin whatever you want, and we sit down and shoot the shit for 2 to 3 hours every month. And then Campfire Catalog, which currently we're doing on Legend of Dragoon, as we said earlier, but our following one that was voted by our community is Lunar Silver Star. So that's very exciting. As at least for me, I was already playing that before we decided it, so that makes things really nice. Go to youtube.com/Kevin Kenson and hit the subscribe button over there, as we're trying to get him to 1 million followers before the end of 2025. And lastly, go to youtube.com/Orbalology and hit the subscribe button over there and support Emily and her ventures. And speaking of Emily, please take the time to introduce yourself a bit more and what you do and all that cool stuff.
Oh, sure. So I run the YouTube channel Orbalology, and I'm coming up, just over 3 years now on that channel. And I like to focus on a lot of collecting aspects of our gaming hobby, as well as dive into plenty of JRPGs, because those are the games I primarily play and collect for. And I also have some other kind of things I've been exploring recently, like streaming on YouTube, which has been a lot of fun. I'm hoping to stream some sort of JRPG soon. I'm going to have my channel members decide which one to start first and go down that rabbit hole. But it's been a lot of fun. And I also am a co-host at the JRPG Pursuit podcast, where we like to yap about JRPGs too.
Can't confirm that they yap.
It's going to be nostalgic
yapping.
if all 5 of us are over together. There will be no time limit.
We will be very soon.
This is true.
Yes. Yes.
In person.
Yeah. I was like, is it, can we announce that at this point? Or like,
Yeah,
are
we're not. That's
Yeah, I mean,
confirmed.
we're confirmed.
Yeah. Okay. So if you're going to PAX West at the end of August, going into September, we have a panel that the two podcasts are collaborating together on. We're basically talking about like remasters, remakes, like that's kind of like the theme of the panel. I don't know what the exact title is because I was not prepared to talk about it, but it is. No, you're good. But it is going to be on Monday at
2:30.
At 2:30. Do you know what venue? Like what room?
It sounded like Flying Dragon, but I don't think that's the name. something obscure like that. I would have to double check where that is.
Okay.
But
okay, it might be like Dragonfly
TBA,
room.
well, there'll be some sort of announcements when I'll remember what the title is of the panel. But
Cool.
yeah, basically, as Cam summarized, it's going to be about remasters and how they influence all the modern JRPGs that are coming out. So
Sweet. Yeah,
should be a
can't
good
wait.
time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Lots to talk about on that. So,
Oh, yes.
Now we're going to get into the news for this week. Last week, there wasn't a whole lot. This week, there's too much. There's too much to talk about. But we're gonna hop right into it. Our first news story: the Octopath Traveler devs Acquire are collaborating with United States Arab Emirates studio Red Dunes Games for multiple different projects. This was reported by Gamatsu. Red Dunes Games CEO and creative director Sultan Darmaki, sorry if I butcher any names, made a statement in a press release saying, quote, Acquire is a legendary studio with a deep creative legacy, and we are honored to work with them to build the next wave of original games. This partnership is a reflection of our belief that the future of gaming lies in global collaboration, where stories cross borders and innovation knows no region, end quote. And then Acquire's CEO, Takuma Endo, also made a statement saying, quote, as Acquire, a studio that has long valued originality from Japan in game development, we are thrilled to have found a wonderful partner in Red Dunes Games and embark on a bold new global challenge together. We've always believed in the power of originality. Now with Red Dunes, we're building something truly international, end quote. They have 3 projects that they've announced, which are apparently supposed to be like the first wave, so there's seemingly going to be more. The first one being Project Tremor, that's supposed to feature city-shaking kaiju battles, Project Umbra, dark fantasy hunts, and Project Shadowcar, shadowy espionage thriller. Kevin, what are your thoughts on all this?
I mean, we'll see what comes of it. I will say I actually looked into it again because I primarily remember Acquire for their recent stuff right now, between working on the Octopath games and most recently Brothership for Mario and Luigi.
Mm-hmm.
I completely erased from my memory that they were the devs behind like Tenchu and Way of the Samurai back in the day. Like that, just like those were 2 different companies in my head for a while, and then I was looking over the list. I was like, oh wait, shit, that is Acquire. Like that's the same team. But yeah, I think this is one of those things where, I mean, like, cool, there's a partnership. I don't know much about this team they're working with moving forward, and so it's kind of a benefit of the doubt situation where we're just gonna need to see what starts coming out and how it is. I like Acquire more or less. Brothership was fine, the bit I played, but I really enjoy Octopath Traveler and 2, which, those were co-developed, but still they played a role. And so yeah, interested in seeing what they do moving forward with this.
Emily?
I'm not that familiar, other than I guess Octopath, regarding acquire, having, I guess, UAE, help fund, I guess, more games, I think is always probably positive, because I feel like there's so many studios right now that are lacking funds. So be interesting if that's kind of what their role will be, I guess, with this partnership. That kind of sounds like that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it reminds me a little bit of how like SNK is now being able to bring back a few things because of their funding and support, which did also lead to slightly weird situations like the bonus characters we got in the latest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that doesn't necessarily mean that holds true for this situation as well.
Yeah.
There's nothing in common other than having major investments. So we'll see how that aspect of it is handled certainly, because there are those times where you have investment that comes with strings attached probably more
Yes.
often than not. But there can be times where people just want to invest and maybe there's some degree of creative input, but Acquire's still allowed to do what they want. So we just really aren't going to know until we see more of whatever these projects actually are.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm a little
So,
torn. I'm a little torn here. Part of me is like I'm upset because I think that Acquire is like one of the best kind of like support studios in the sense of like, people, whether it be Nintendo or Square Enix, make deals with these companies to make their games or to make a game for them. But on the other side, I think that they're so talented that I am interested in them making their own original IPs and seeing what that looks like, where they have that creative freedom to do so. So who knows? I think I'm a little bit more cautious because they're committing to so many projects already.
Yes.
Like if it was like one game and
Yeah.
then it was successful and people really liked it, then they moved to the next thing, then I would be like a little bit more understanding. But this seems like a
seems so
really big
ambitious.
commitment. Yeah. Mhm.
I mean, it's yeah, because it's one of those things of like, what does this mean for other potential projects, right? Does this impact them collaborating with anyone else? But like they release stuff pretty often with their name attached as is. If you actually look at their list of releases the last like 5 years, they have 6 games all listed for 2024 alone.
Mm.
Given I'm sure not all of those were like full blown projects, and one of them was co-developed. But still, like they clearly have a pace already going. So I think it's just going to be interesting to see, like, yeah, what other projects are they trying to juggle, and what's the scope of everything happening all at once right now?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
I'm
cautiously optimistic, I think.
yeah, I think that's the best where I sit at too at the end of the day.
My default state of being.
So we have
Next
to do, right?
oh, yep.
How I hold on. That's basically how I hold on. So
Exactly. We have to keep some sanity.
Next story. Hajime Tabata's new JRPG has halted development. This was reported by Automaton Media, and admittedly, I've never heard of this website, so
grain of salt on this
we'll
one.
grain of salt on this one. It seems legit. It seems legit, but yeah. So the development of Final Fantasy XV's director Hajime Tabata's newest game, currently known as Project Jewel, has been halted due to suspension of funding. Tabata's studio, known as JP Games, announced the collaboration with AI development company Quantum Solutions, and the company signed a partnership with Saudi Arabia's Ministry of Investment for the game's funding. The project was said to be a take on the story of 1001 Nights, and according to Japanese media outlet GameBiz, there was a working demo that was completed on July 10th of last year. Apparently, Quantum Solutions was not happy with the results of the demo and asked Tabata to make changes to better fit market needs. The company claims that the studio hasn't given them a proper answer in regards to the demo's feedback. The development has been halted. This sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even know Tabata was working on a new game. I don't think I knew that he opened a new studio. So this is all like news to me.
He did open a new studio. They have one game out that was a mobile title that apparently is based on the Summer Paralympics. So that's pretty specific.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like the man can't catch a break just after everything that
He
happened.
really
with Luminous,
can't.
and now that like it just that's rough, buddy. I don't. Yeah, again, I also have not really heard like this being the one source does give me a bit of an eyebrow raise. But I'm also not sure how many people are keeping track of what he's actively working on. Uh, so I would be curious to see like more corroboration of this moving forward.
Yeah.
But that's if true, that's rough. That's yeah.
Emily, any additional thoughts on that?
I think with you guys, it's just sad whenever you see a game kind of halt just because of funding and, those constraints.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like JP Games just needs to tell them like what's going on and
Maybe they
hopefully
didn't like the answer. That's why it's not a proper answer. But yeah,
yeah.
it's
And then hopefully the funding can just they can get the funding back and they can just keep moving along. So
yeah.
I think I think that when you start taking money from a nation, you have a little bit less say in like what
What you could do.
you can do for your game. So it's, I think that was something that I hope Tabata put into perspective before making a deal with a government. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
historically not a thing that's worked out super great.
no.
There was what was it, Kingdoms of Amalur, which was a whole mess of the funding that happened
Mhm.
with them. Uh, there was another example that was in my head and it just left. Who was it? Oh, wasn't there also like wasn't part of that? That was part of why Ubisoft was having issues with the pirate game they were doing, right? When it got delayed like 17 times.
Ah,
Really?
Yeah, I think there was something where it was they were working with like the Singapore government or something. I need to double check that now.
I
That
know the
you're saying
team was
it,
in
but
Singapore, but I didn't know it was like a government thing. But
I think there
maybe.
was
so
yeah.
why do governments like to fund games? Do you guys know? It just seems a little bit odd. Is it they have these funds, they need to find something to
I
invest
think
in?
at least with like UAE
Mhm.
area, like I think they're just trying to invest in more different avenues, and they see how gaming has uh gotten much more mainstream over the
Just
years.
media. Yeah.
Yeah, that
It's not like
they're
they're
like,
advertising their country though, right? Because usually when a country invests in something, it's like travel here or look at our beautiful scenery, It's like a ad. So I don't know. I find it interesting.
Yeah, I think in some cases it's literally just a loan program situation, or it's written off as
Okay.
like arts investment. I know that's what was going on with Kingdoms of Amalur because it was like, oh, we're
I
investing
see.
into like this new field, and I think they were promised a payback, which was why that became a whole issue because the studio was not releasing on time, and then it was just like, hey, like
Ah,
you owe us money, we would like that
I see.
back, and lawsuits happened. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I think the reasons
Tricky,
vary.
tricky.
Yeah, and I think you're right though. I think that in some cases it is a situation of kind of maybe turning it a little bit into you know, uh travel advertisement, like hey, like
Hmm.
this is
Yeah.
relevant to this country and this place and like check out this cool stuff here.
Yeah. If you look
Um
at the film industry, when they have, those tax cuts, just come film here and
yeah,
show off our country. But yeah.
exactly.
next story. Nintendo released some interviews with some of the lead devs of Donkey Kong Bonanza, and there were a few interesting things that we learned as I explained everything. The game was directed by I definitely mistyped this. I think it's Kazuya Takahashi, who's known for directing Nights into Dreams on the PS2 and Final Fantasy 15 Comrades, the multiplayer experience that they released post launch that I don't know how many people play. I mean, that's a big that's a big jump, right? Like not trying to discount like the Final Fantasy Comrades thing, but like that to like, hey, we want you to direct like basically like the next 3D Mario game. That's pretty crazy. That's a pretty big jump. And then the other director was Wataru Tanaka, who was who's kind of like been a lead dev on the 3D Mario games for a while now, since like Galaxy 2. Um, and then apparently Donkey Kong's design in Bonanza is what led to the redesign of Donkey Kong in the Mario movie. So the Bonanza design came first, and then eventually, yeah. So that's interesting. Just considering we thought that the Mario movie was like the thing that did it, but
Sure.
nope.
I mean, and like from a viewer perspective, like what other? No one was going to be like, oh, they made this design X number of years ago, and therefore, like no, like we can only go off of what we publicly see. But that is very interesting. This one was done first. I actually hadn't caught that. That is cool. Plus, embargo lifted this morning, and the game's getting crazy good reviews.
Yeah.
I think like Critic was saying like 91 or something right now, which is up there with how well Clair Obscur was getting reviewed and Split Fiction. So another strong one for 25.
Yeah, I mean, I think there could have been a little bit of wariness just because it's not a Mario game, but I had very little doubt that it wasn't gonna review incredibly well.
I mean, like I had no doubt it was going to review well, but it's reviewing very well. Like there's a lot of like I figured mid 80s is like kind of an average you would expect, and this is doing like 91, where it is it is up there as like the top reviewed like things of the year and of all time, because scratching that high as an average is pretty impressive.
Yeah,
Certainly,
for sure. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Emily.
I was going to say, there are, like, with those really glowing reviews, I also seen people talk about all the frame, like, drops on the Switch 2, just because of, all the demolition you have to do in the game itself. So I'm curious kind of what the public opinion will be once they get it in their hands.
Yeah, and how actually bad that can be. Because it's one thing to describe a frame drop, it's another thing to see it in action yourself and how often it's coming up.
Exactly.
I'm generally fairly resistant to those. I'll just be like, oh, that sucks. Anyways, as long as it's not hitting the point of like, oh no, we're at 4 frames a second for 20 seconds. Why is this happening? But as long as it's like, okay, yeah, it dips when I blow up 17 things on the screen at the same time, I'll deal. But I am curious as well to see how that's going to feel in person.
Because this has been an issue with a lot of, new Nintendo games like Echoes of Wisdom, right? Had some issues, though I don't remember that really impacting the sales that much. I'm not really sure. I'm not that.
No, it's one of those things where people like to talk about it, because I mean they even happened with the Link's Awakening remake, where like it does have pretty annoying frame drops whenever you change areas, but a lot of people ultimately just don't actually care. I get it, it's a problem and we should talk about it and call it out, but there's a lot of regular consumers that are just like, oh, that's weird. Anyways, I'm having fun.
Yeah, I think for the Switch 1, it was easy to maybe say, oh, it's just old hardware, that's why. But with the Switch 2, I think it's a little disappointing to see that, problem persist.
Yeah, especially when this started as a Switch 1 game, like in early development. So, yeah. We will see.
We'll see.
The develop team got inspired by a boss in Super Mario Odyssey called Knuckle Attack. That destroyed environments, and they experimented with the technology by adding the boss's arms on a Goomba and just like kind of put it in like a play test, and just like was destroying environments and stuff. There's a video that they shared. They noted that the entire game was made using voxel technology because it allowed them to layer the terrain, which the team thought was important considering wanting to make everything destructible. The same technology was used with the cheese rocks and snow in Super Mario Odyssey. Donkey Kong Bonanza began development on the original Nintendo Switch, but the team moved to the Switch 2 sometime in 2021. This allowed the team to add more things to the environments and the amount of things that could be destroyed. Pauline wasn't added as a character until the team committed to the Bonanza transformation mechanic, where she would sing depending on what animal Donkey Kong turned into, and then there's also like the co-op mode where she sings as well. They also wanted the players to have someone that they could relate to, since Pauline is human. In general, Emily, how are you feeling about Donkey Kong Bonanza?
I'll admit, as I guess, somewhat of a Nintendo fan. I'm not super into most of their Mario and Donkey Kong IPs. I definitely
I'm with you.
gravitate more towards
I'm with
their
you.
JRPGs, but I did like Super Mario Odyssey, so I feel like I would like Donkey Kong. I'm not rushing to get it, but I don't have a Switch 2 yet, so there's that as well. So I'll probably get it eventually. Yeah, there's, I would say, a handful of like prominent, Nintendo IPs that I do want to eventually play. I just never like a rush to play it. It's like a nice in between JRPG game for me. And I kind of see that like this.
Initially for me, I was just like, oh yeah, I'll play it eventually. Admittedly, I've probably put in a few hours into Super Mario Odyssey. Like
Mhm.
I'm like, yeah, I'll get to it eventually. Like, here's the thing. Admittedly, I want to do a series playthrough. Like when my life gets back in order, I want to do a series playthrough, play through all the 2D Marios, play through all the 3D Marios, and do it that way. Because I've played most of them, but I've only finished like a few. Like Super Mario 3D World is one of the best games ever made, in my opinion. Like that game is incredible. But like, yeah. So in general, I'm not like super crazy about the big IPs behind Nintendo. Like Mario's like, oh yeah, it's more Mario, and I never really grew up with Zelda, so Zelda has never really been my thing either. So yeah, with Donkey Kong, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll play it eventually. But that direct really sold me on it. Really sold me on this game, and I cannot wait. Like the moment after I watched it, I'm like, all right, I'm pre-ordering this. I need this day one. Like it's really good. And I know that if I remember correctly, you haven't picked up a Switch 2 yet, right,
Yep,
Emily?
I'm still waiting,
Yeah.
probably for a nice special edition or whenever the next upgraded version comes out. I'm not in a rush.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
That's
if there is a Monolith Soft game announced, I might be tempted to dip in early.
Yeah, I was gonna say there could be the right
That's
or
kind of
Fire Emblem?
it. That's
Or Fire Emblem?
Fire Emblem. It depends what type of Fire Emblem. If it's another Three Houses, I wait.
I'm also not like, at least based on how long whatever supposed Fire Emblem's been in development, I am curious if it's going to end up being a cross-gen title, but we'll see. Maybe it's like
Yes.
Donkey Kong, where it started originally for one, and then they went all in on Switch 2 only.
Yeah, it's
Who knows?
possible.
That's definitely like the one franchise that I feel like we just haven't heard from in long enough that it's like, okay, what's going on?
Any day now.
Yep,
Yeah,
any day
there's
now, any direct now. Please. I literally put up a video this morning where I say that.
Mhm.
yeah, the Fire Emblem so there's been rumors for like a couple of years now. Like some people say like, oh, they're doing a remake of Genealogy of the Holy War, which is
Mhm.
what I want in a perfect
Yes.
world.
Yes.
Same.
Give me that.
Especially if they go with kind of the vibe and art style of what they did with the 2 remake. Like I love that
Yeah.
slightly more serious look to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's also rumors that they're actually remaking one of the GBA games, either Binding Blade or Blazing Blade. I forgot which one because the names are too similar.
Yeah. Blazing
But
would be
one of
cool.
those.
Yeah, Binding Blade would be cool just because we didn't actually officially get that ever.
Yeah. I would prefer that.
That would be neat. Like I would be it would
Yeah.
actually be cool if they did like a duology or something. Like I feel like if you do one of those, you kind of have to do both. At least as like a fan, like having them together in some way. Not necessarily that
nice.
they're going to bundle them, but like if one's being ported or remade, is there going to be something for the other as well? Or maybe they just leave it at Blazing's on Nintendo Switch Online, play it there.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
We had, Link's Awakening. That also was on Nintendo NSO.
Yeah.
So maybe. It's just, I do feel like there's an aversion to bundles now.
Well, because they know
just feel
people will
like-
buy each one individually.
I think
Yeah.
so. Like, look at like Raito Remastered. They just did the first game, not the second game.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah. Or the 3D All Stars, which was all 3 games for $60 for a limited time.
Limited time.
That is the only game I bought 2 copies of, just in case something happened to my other copy. Like, who knows? That I have a second one on my shelf, like unsealed or like, sealed. No issues.
Those were like the bare minimum ports, right? Like,
Oh
they
yeah,
didn't
they
do
were
too much on
absolutely
those.
bare minimum.
They were not. They did not try to do anything particularly fancy or cleaned up about them. They are ported. I think they even had to eventually add in like motion controls for some stuff to like actually match up with what you could do on original versions. It was a whole thing.
Yeah, they literally had a patch in that you could use a GameCube controller for for Sunshine. Like, yeah, it was but I'm glad it happened. I'm still glad it happened. They just needed to do Galaxy 2 as well. But no, I wanted to go back to just really quick that yeah, I do want Genealogy of the Holy War for sure. I still am waiting for, which I do think that they could do, like they should do it as a bundle. I want them to port the Radiant duology.
Path of
Like,
Radiance. And
yeah, they like those need a port.
Well,
Like,
and we know we're getting one of them on GameCube.
The GameCube one.
Yeah, we
I know
that, but
that's something.
not the same.
But I still
not
don't
the
want to pay like $80 for a copy of Radiant Dawn to play on my Wii U. I don't want to do that.
you could just
But
not play Radiant Dawn. It's fine. I won't judge you.
no, I've heard it's good.
It's fine. Path of
I know Path of
Radiance
Radiance is better,
Path
but
of
like,
Radiance is significantly better. But yeah,
okay.
I mean, I don't know if that's
the
common
complete story.
Yeah, that's true. It does. It's rough because it is a complete story to play both. Absolutely. Just as someone who really loved Path of Radiance, I have mixed feelings on Radiant Dawn's execution. But yeah, I get it. Wanting to have access to both, and it would be neat if they just did that. I am curious, like, because we're getting GameCube back in Pat, how actually far away like adding Wii to NSO is going to be, because the Wii is just the GameCube with motion controls. Like, it's not. It's like literally the same hardware. So I feel like it's not that far away, other than them wanting to pace out, how often they add systems. Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. I skipped out on both the GameCube and the Wii. My actually first Nintendo console was the Switch. Like, I had all their handhelds.
Oh, wow. Oh yeah.
I was a big
I was a big Nintendo handheld guy until like Game Boy to Game Boy Advance, and then I kind of abandoned everything for like, that was when I got into like the PS2, and then I moved to the 360, and I was very like, I got into a lot of like really mainstream stuff, and then it was like the PS4 era beginning where I like really got back into the JRPG space in a major way.
I had a similar projection there, though. Instead of the PS4, I went to PC.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean,
and then I abandoned it all for academia for a little bit there, and then came back with the 3DS.
Yeah, that's like
fair.
I kept up with all the systems, but I absolutely put way more time on the handhelds of like equivalent eras.
Yes.
Like,
yes,
I had a Wii, I had a Wii U, I played games on them, but the DS and 3DS, far more time. So much time I put on those systems.
And more JRPGs.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, we were talking about this when we were talking about like generational JRPG titles. Like, there was kind of an era where in the console space, it wasn't like dead, but it was certainly a little more barren and a little more experimental and not quite as consistent. And handhelds were really where the genre was thriving. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's talking about Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Yeah. No, but we're talking about speaking of JRPGs, we're talking about another one here. So it has been confirmed that Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remake will not be getting a Switch to update path from the original Switch. This was according to their FAQ page for the game. Square Enix clarifies, quote, "There's no upgrade path currently available or planned. Please buy your copy for whichever system you would like to play on." And it's also, this is where it gets crazy. So the save data from the Switch version cannot be transferred over either.
Yep.
But the save data from Dragon Quest 3 can be transferred over to get your save data bonuses. What are we doing? What Square?
Yeah, I mean, I imagine there's something about the way the save file architecture is that, like, it's easier to pull just specific things, like, oh, we need to know what you named your character or whatever, and like that's like the main thing, versus needing a completely compliant save. It's still extremely annoying, and it's not a specific issue just to this game. There are a lot of games that we already know of that are getting Switch 1, Switch 2 versions, and you can't do save transfer. They're not counted as the same title. There's no upgrade path. It's very frustrating. I think what bothers me more in this particular case, is that coming after the Final Fantasy Tactics news, where that's not getting a physical copy release whatsoever, but regular Switch copies can get free upgrades to the Switch 2 version. I just want some consistency. Like, what's going on here? Like, if one company is consistently like, okay, yes, we're releasing games this way, and these are the limitations, and these are the problems, I'm very curious what is happening on the back end of how the Switch 2 is designed that's leading to this kind of consistent problem where we're just hearing different specific rules for like every release. It's
so weird.
Not fun.
Yeah. I just made actually a video on this topic. And apparently they're basically claiming that the Switch 1 and Switch 2 builds are totally different and they're not compatible. So if you were to upgrade the Switch 1, it's not going to become the native Switch 2 version, which I feel like that's so inefficient. You know, as a developer, why would you do two different builds? I don't get it.
Yeah, it is a thing that the Switch 2 is like a significantly enough different architecture, because it doesn't even run Switch 1 games natively. It's emulating them. That's why we have that list of like compatibility issues, because it's not actually running them like a Switch 1 would. It's pretending to be a Switch 1 while it runs them, which is also why we're not seeing like as clear cut of upgrades for games that don't get specific patches.
I suppose so, but they could have done like a Switch 2 upgrade, you know, like pack, like we've seen, like, you know, for the original Switch 1 games. Like, why was that not in the thought process, I guess? Or maybe is that more difficult than just building a whole new build? I don't know. It just seems very time consuming to me.
And that's the headache too, again, is that like there's just not a great sense of consistency. You know, one company's doing one thing, and even like within, again, Square Enix, like there are different games coming out from the same company that are following different rules and restrictions. And I just, I do not love, as much as I am enjoying my Switch 2 and I'm excited for a lot of the first party stuff going on with it, the way a lot of the third party market's being handled is very headache inducing. You know, game keycard alone is something I could be angry about for a while.
Oh yeah.
And there's more on top of that. Guess what?
The three of us could be here for like 8 hours talking about game keycards, because we're all on the same page with that. But yeah, it's one of those things where I'm trying to like divide the one issue from another, because it's upsetting to me because there's no physical version of the Switch 2, and I want a physical version on Switch 2. But now I'm probably going to just buy, unless we get sent a code, Square Enix. Switch 2, if we get a code, or like, you know, if we don't get a code, I'm still probably going to buy it digitally. And then I'll buy a physical for the OG Switch.
So for me, I'm just going to skip to PS5 because there's no upgrade path I need to worry about. And it should run nicely. And I think with Dragon Quest III HD 2D, right, the Switch 1 versions had a lot of reporting of it not running that well. So, and even I think if you put that on the Switch 2, you still have, I think, resolution issues, right? Of a 720p game being stretched out to 1080, it's not going to be ideal still. So I just feel like so many of my third-party decisions are no longer with Nintendo. It's with the PS5 if I want it physically.
No, that's the space I'm in, where like moving forward, that is my same logic. Dragon Quest in particular is a headache because I did play 1 and 2 on the Switch, which honestly I think was fine. Like, if you want to do a raw performance comparison, it does look and run better on the PS4, but like it's not so significant. Like that art style and visual style, 30 frames does not bother me. I know some people get hypersensitive about it, but I thought it looked and ran great. But because I have that on Switch 1, that brings this question up now of like, well, if I'm going to keep playing this franchise, this particular release on Switch, am I going to play the Switch 1 version because I want a proper physical copy? And am I going to have to get the game key card version? Am I going to buy the Switch 1 physical just to be a collection goblin and then buy the digital version to play on the Switch too. I have not made that decision yet. I mean, hey, if I get a code sent, I'll do a code for Switch 2 and then buy the physical copy anyways, because I'm going to do that. But it's still just
it's hard because you want consistency. Like we're all collectors, right? Consistency is really nice in our collections, and I do have all my Dragon Quest games on the Switch one. That and 3DS, like all on, I guess, the Nintendo line. So it'll be weird to switch to PlayStation for that. But
yeah,
I don't know. I'm just really annoyed with Switch right now.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, it's tough for me too because I'm like you. Like I collect these games on Switch because they're the handheld versions. Yeah. So like it's just nicer to have them versus like PS5 and like after the PS2 era.
But
yeah. After the PS5 era or PS2 era, I did really stray away from PlayStation, and I'm to this day, I'm like, when the JRPG gets a physical release on Xbox, I'm just like, I'm celebrating in the streets. I'm like, yes, you know what I mean. I still need to buy my physical copy for Dragon Quest on Xbox, but like, for most JRPGs, I'm totally willing to double dip like Xbox and Switch. There are some instances, and again, it's consistency, right? Because like. Yes. I don't have any Trails games on Switch. I have only PlayStation.
Even Crossbell.
Okay. I didn't realize about Crossbell until post-launch. And then when they weren't
the best at delivering that info.
When they did the rerun, I did not have the money to buy those games. So I was just like, well, I'll buy these eventually. So I will get the Crossbell games so that when I replay them eventually, I'll play them on Switch. Yeah. But because I buy the collector's editions for all of them because those are good collector's editions. I want all the steel books to be the same size.
It was the same. I double dipped.
Oh wow! Like good on you. Good on you. I can't do that. I can't do that. Every once in a while, like I'll drop like $1,000 on a single game. I did that for Kingdom Hearts 3. I got like the PS4 Pro. I got the I have zero regrets despite my like feelings about that game. The PS4 Pro, I got the like big collector's edition that was on the Square Enix shop, and then I bought the deluxe edition for the other system. Like I went balls to the wall.
You want ham?
And we'll talk about this when we get into the topic of the show because I want to talk to you about a lot of your collection stuff that I see and things like that. Because again, I think we are very much on the same page with a lot of things. And some things that we're not on, and I want to dive into that. Yeah. So there was a Ghost of Yotei State of Play last week that happened like the day before we recorded, as a lot of things do, where we're just like, oh, look at this thing that we should probably delay the pod a day for, but we couldn't because it was already Wednesday. Kevin. What were your thoughts on the Ghost of Yotei State of Play?
I think it overall looks good. I mean, look, I feel like the thing that happens with a lot of like first party Sony cinematic third person action games, that there's a degree of like consistency in playing it safe where I'm like, yeah, there's changes and new things, but yep, this looks like more Ghost.
Another Ghost game. Yeah.
I do like, I think swapping from the stance system over to a more traditional, like you just have different weapons and those weapons have advantages. I think that's a little more intuitive for a lot of folks. So like that's the thing, especially if it leads to more interesting variants in like attack patterns and how those weapons work. Because there's just a logic to like, okay, I'm using I'm using not a sword. So how does that operate differently as far as like reach and attack options and such? The one thing I was a little hit and miss with, and I want to test it out more when the game actually releases, was all the director modes they highlighted, because
I want to talk about that for sure.
Yeah, because like some of them I'm kind of like, okay, like yes, that is, you're using that director's name, but what does that actually mean in this instance? Because like I already had this issue with Tsushima where they were like, oh, we have Kurosawa mode, and it's like, well, what you mean is it's classic black and white mode. Like you didn't like change the cinematography of scenes or anything to match how like Kurosawa would have shot it or something. You just you added a film grain, you made it black and white. Like
I think that they were, as someone who played the entire game in Kurosawa mode.
Yeah.
Japanese voices with subtitles. I think that they were pretty clear of like just like, hey, this is just something that we collaborated with the Kurosawa estate.
Sure.
Like not like this big grandiose thing. I
No,
think
but-
that they made that clear.
You know, they did, but it's still silly to me to like call it that mode when it's a black and white mode. And like, cool, you got the estate to sign off and put their name on it, but like, it's just a black and white mode. Like to me, like
Sure.
especially
Fine.
as someone who enjoys Kurosawa films, like that just feels weird to me to be like, oh, this is Kurosawa, but
Sure.
like, it's black and white mode.
I think they just wanted another kind of stamp of approval. This is like representative of Japan, you know?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially because
That's
especially
just
when
smart.
Tsushima was coming out, that was such a talking point, right? Of like, oh,
Exactly.
Western devs making Japanese games and vice versa, and you know, can another company do it better because they're based in Japan? Never mind, they're published by a Japanese company in the first place.
Right.
Yeah. So Kurosawa mode, I have mixed feelings about. Watanabe mode, like, I'm also a little mixed on because like I love Watanabe, but like part of why lo-fi. So for those that don't know, Watanabe is the director involved with things like Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo, and the big thing they're pushing with this is that it has a lo-fi soundtrack that he's involved in, which is neat. But like part of why a lo-fi soundtrack works in animation is that you can animate in tandem with the soundtrack, and like there's a rhythm and flow you can have those match with, which you don't get out of a video game where you're choosing when you attack. Not to mention the fact that as much as I do again love Watanabe, when I think of the lo-fi music from Champloo, it wasn't his involvement that like made that great. It was Nujabe's. I never know how to actually say his name. Nujabe's. I love his work on that, and he's not around anymore. So like, I don't know how well this is going to capture that aspect. The only of the director modes that does sound interesting to me, and I think actually does kind of hold true to its name and concept of like evoking that director, is the Mike mode, which is hilarious because it's literally the camera's tighter and there's a lot more blood and mud. Like, it feels a little silly to reduce like his work to that, but it's also not wrong. So
I'm just questioning, why are they releasing this with launch? You know?
Oh, like why isn't it like that
modes.
DLC later or something?
Yeah, DLC later. Like, I guess that's good because I usually don't like it when they withhold things, but it just seems like an interesting choice, you know, as an add-on right away.
Yeah, or like an unlockable, right? Like it feels like a fun like unlock. Like I think Silent Hill 2 did that, the remake, where you could get different like filter modes after beating the game once. Yeah, like I think there's like an aspect of fun to getting that later, but I'm not opposed to it right away.
I wonder if they're doing it because of how similar it is to Ghost. So they're just really trying to differentiate it right away. But
yeah, because I mean, like the Kurosawa mode came out at launch, and if it didn't come out at launch straight away, I either would wait until one was coming, which I don't want to do. Like I want to play that game when it comes out. Or I would just like not play the game as like remotely. I don't know. Like I'm not.
Yeah.
It's not like a deal breaker for me, but it's just like, oh, that's really weird. Why did you do this? Why did you not do this when you did it at launch the first time?
I can see that.
So
it's just kind of interesting that they're prompting people not to play like the original game, you know, as their original vision.
Yeah.
It's just interesting. Like, I don't think it's a bad thing, but.
Yeah, I will say one thing they did announce that I was happy about is this time around Japanese lip sync will be available from the start, because that was a hang up I had with the original Ghost of Tsushima release, where they visually only had lip sync for English, so you could play the game in Japanese, but then no one's mouths were lining up. And they fixed that with the PS5 version when they updated it later, but that was not a thing for the original PS4 release. So I'm glad that 2 is doing that out the gate, because I'm going to play the game in Japanese. Like, it just, if you're going to have the game take place in Japan during this era, I don't want to do English voices. So
yeah, I mean, I like the Kurosawa mode, and I like that they're offering the Japanese with subtitles, and it's one of the few games outside of Yakuza where I'm like, yeah, I definitely want to experience it this way. But yeah, the Watanabe mode, I don't know about that one, dog. Did not, the way that they presented that, I was like, this doesn't work. This just doesn't work for me.
He's a little goofy. I don't know.
Yeah, but the Mike mode, I'm definitely gonna have on. Like, I want. That was like probably one of my, like, not problematic enough to mention it, but definitely that was continuously going in my mind, was like, this game's not bloody enough, and now they're adding that, so I'm just like, yeah, let's do that.
All the blood.
Yeah. So alongside all of the things that we learned about the game, they announced that there's going to be 2 different limited edition PS5 bundles. One is going to be, it's the same design. One's going to be in gold. One's going to be in black. You're also going to be able to buy the controllers and plates separately. That's the only way that you can get the PS5 Pro plate as well for those that are PS5 Pro owners. Which I'm probably going to get one soon just because I don't know about Trump's tariffs. I'm just like,
You're
Nintendo.
not yeah.
Yeah, like Nintendo probably raised the price before announcing the price of the Switch 2. Xbox has started raising prices. It's just a matter of time before Sony does. So, but
I'm not too worried.
They look pretty.
Personally, like if you have the money now and you want to like play it now, maybe that makes sense. But I don't know. For me, I try not to get the what ifs will happen if there's like a $50 increase or something. But
yeah,
that's fair. That's fair.
It's just from like if I need the money for something else right now, I'd rather use it for that than something that I had in the future planned.
That's
and
totally
even
true.
if it's like more expensive in the future, I'll be ready to buy it. So
I really need to put that into perspective with my collecting too, because like I'm like, oh man, I probably could buy like these things like if I, yeah, yeah. So
something we all wrestle with, I think, as collectors.
Yes.
Well, FOMO is also the biggest driver of anything, right? Like
it is.
We'll probably tap into this more when talking about collecting, but like, yeah, the sense of just like, well, I should just buy it now because if I don't buy it now, what's gonna happen? It's gonna be more. It's gonna be double. It's gonna be around at all. I don't know.
I've been having that brain going on right now recently with some things. Yeah. But yeah, so all of those limited edition things are officially releasing October 2nd, but there's supposed to be pre-orders. We don't know when that's going to be yet. So
I will say I do dig the special edition designs. The fact the gold one evokes I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right, but like kintsugi, the act of the idea is like fixing broken cup and teaware by like melding gold in between, and it creates its own kind of unique art. Evoking that in the PS5 covers, super cool idea. I really like the gold look on that one.
They're nice, clean designs for sure.
Last story of the week, well, main story at least. We found our Link and Zelda in the live action Zelda movie, and their choices that exist. So Benjamin Evan Ainsworth is going to play Link. Most notable thing he's done, voice of Pinocchio in the live action Pinocchio remake that Disney did. And then Bo Bragason is going to play Zelda. She has credits to 4 things on her IMDb page, and I don't know any of them.
I'm totally down with that, to be honest. Like, I like unknown actors for situations like this.
Okay. Here's the thing. Because I felt like you were going to be on board with this, and like it's one of those things where I just like when literally Hunt. It's one of those things like normally I'm not like one of those people that are like, oh, it has to be this person, but like Hunter Schafer literally looks like Zelda. Like it's crazy.
If we were going with a known person, Hunter Schafer is absolutely my number one choice for Zelda. But I'm also okay with because here's the thing, especially when it comes to like iconic characters like this, I like being able to divorce knowledge of the actor from them, right? Like I have problems with the movie in general, but like the Uncharted movie, for instance, I can't not see Tom Holland. Like it doesn't matter.
100%.
Like it's just that's Tom Holland. Like, you can't tell me that's like not like that's just who I'm seeing.
And look at Tomb Raider with Angelina Jolie. I don't know.
Yeah.
That was
and that was even the thing with like at the beginning of the MCU, a lot of people were angry at Thor casting because they were like, who's this Chris guy? Like we already have enough Chris's. I don't like he didn't really have a career yet, and ended up being probably one of the better long-term choices out of who they cast. Like,
and I don't know what ages they're pinning, Link and Zelda to be, but if they're young, I think it makes sense, for someone undiscovered to probably fill in their shoes. They kind of did that, with the Harry Potter series. They always, cast unknown actors into those roles for that reason.
That's fair. That's fair. I think I understand the logic of like, hey, let's get like unknown people, so there's like no like certain level of expectations, but also you were literally making a live action Zelda movie, like one of the most beloved IPs of all time. Like that, I think that logic is out the window already. And
I think,
I don't think there's anyone perfect per se to play Link. Like I never really sat with like
yeah.
Tom Holland idea. Like there's no, like I don't really, I don't co-sign that at all. It's just, like Hunter, like that was just, it's just for me, that was one of those like fan castings where I was like, nah, I'm 100% on board with this. Like, let's make Hunter Schafer Zelda because she's great. And let's make all the transphobes mad. Like, love that.
I mean, yes, that would have been fantastic, and I agree with you. Like, as far as if we were going to fan cast established people, but I'm again
Nintendo
totally
wouldn't have been
for-
on board with that. I think, unfortunately, they're I
Oh
think a
no,
little
having
too
the media,
conservative.
the media circus that would result from it. That
Yeah.
and that may have played a role if she was considered at some point, because like that was a rumor that went around. Whether or not it's founded on anything, but
I think at this point now, like once she goes on her next press tour for whatever, people are going to start asking, being like, "Hey, were you considered for Zelda? Like, did they reach out to you?" But also, again, if they were going the younger route, I mean, Hunter Schafer's not that old. She's she's probably like in her like early mid-20s.
no, and can play young as well. Like, still
Definitely.
So, but
those actors that they did select, they look very young. I don't know what their ages were.
Yeah,
like
I don't know
babies.
either, but they had baby face absolutely, which makes sense for those characters.
Mm-hmm.
It would be pretty interesting if there was some sort of how do I explain it? If they do like the kind of like Ocarina of Time thing, and there's like secretly an older Link in Zelda, and then like maybe Hunter is the older Zelda. That'd be really cool. That'd be really cool if they cooked like that. But we'll see.
I don't think
my expectations though for this are kind of low.
Yeah.
I agree.
I'm also not. I mean, look, not a common opinion, I think, but I'm a Mario movie hater. Like, I didn't really care for it.
I didn't see it,
and so it
was fine.
It's not setting me up for much hype for this.
Not much confidence.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it a shot. Like, they have my money. I'm gonna admit that right now. But I would not say that I'm like hyped about the general concept of it.
Yeah,
I wish they went animated for this, not live action.
I think I would be more down for a live action show. Oh, sorry, an
like
animated show, an animated show, and then like live action movie. But and I think that regarding like the Mario movie, it's basically what you would expect Illumination to make if they made a Mario movie. So there were some cool ideas, right? Like I liked the isekai aspects of it. I liked how they're just plumbers in New York. I love the Mario plumbing van. Like there was definitely some character to it, but there's some other things where I was just like, oh, why did you do this? So we'll see. So some quickies for this week. Pokemon Presents is happening next Tuesday. July 22nd at 6 a.m. Pacific time. And the company did share a teaser of Pikachu in front of seemingly like a DJ setup. And I'm wondering what that might be about. Like maybe they're teasing some sort of like music rhythm game, which would be cool, but also... Oh,
maybe it's a soundtrack. I don't know.
It could not be a game. It could not be a game. Anything's possible at a Pokemon Presents.
Or a mini game in ZA or something.
The next mobile
if they're
game
doing all that for a mini game, I'd be upset.
I mean, like it's a single photo. It's not like they did like a whole trailer or something, like trying to build up to something. Like
it could be a new merch line for all we know.
I think it's like they could tease like anything, but they teased this thing. So to me, that's they're saying like, hey, this thing is going to be significant.
Maybe, I don't know. I feel like all the previous Pokemon Presents have been disappointing for gamers.
Oh, for sure. I'm still delusional, and every Pokemon Presents, I'm like, hey, maybe this is the Pokemon Presents. They'll bring back Pokemon Pinball. Pokemon Pinball, bring it back. Bring back the best.
I've also seen a little cope that somehow ties that image into hoping for like black and white remakes. Which I'm like, how would that even? Like,
I don't know.
Like, oh, the color palette, it's so monochrome, and it's like, that doesn't what? That's not how this
No,
works.
that's a
not how any
stretch
of this
there.
works. Yeah, it's yeah. There's
Do you think we're gonna get a black and white remake announcement here?
no, not here.
Okay.
In 2 years, maybe. That's
I
my
I
guess.
think it's after Gen 10. I don't think it's happening.
All right, we've had this conversation. Yeah. But we're definitely not gonna get Gen 10 like when they're promoting Legends yet.
Probably
so.
not. Yeah, like maybe
And
the
they made
lightest of
a
hints.
new flagship for the Switch too, right? Like the new Pokemon IP. That's not a remake.
Yeah.
That's
And-
not also ZA, because that's also on the Switch one.
Yeah, that's cross-gen.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Metaphor Read Fantasio has officially hit 2 million copies sold worldwide, and Astrobot has a new free update, including 5 levels, as well as Astrobots based off of characters from Final Fantasy VII, like Cloud and Sephiroth.
Yeah. Square Enix in general, we got 4. We
Oh, yeah,
went from
because we
0
got
to 4.
Sergey from Chrono Cross.
Surge.
Surge, okay.
Yeah.
And then what was the other one? Who was the fourth one?
2B.
Oh, 2B, right, from Nier. Yeah. No Sora. I'm sad.
I mean, I feel like that's probably. I mean, Disney has to be involved for that, right? For signing off on
Probably.
that.
Yeah, I can still be sad about it.
That's fair. That's valid.
Square Enix played to the game on this, though. I don't know how many people are kind of still playing Astrobot, but maybe they are.
I mean, the moment
update.
the update came out, I played it that morning. Like, I mean,
You
it's just
did?
a couple levels, and yeah, if you
That's
have
true.
a save file ready to go, it's not too much to. They were fairly difficult ones, so it took me a few tries, but I had fun. I like to get more
That's good.
characters. Yeah, supposedly the cloud design had been done in advance, like back when the original version of the game was coming out, and Square Enix did not want
Sign
him
off on it.
involved. Yeah, they did not sign off on it. So something changed. I mean, I know that was like myself and many others were definitely vocal about like, why is there no Square Enix rep in this game? Like, where is that's like the biggest third party relationship PlayStation had for many years, and like, what's going on? So it's cool to
So
finally see
silly.
them show up.
I could see them thinking it would have been counterintuitive of them to like put their characters in a different game the year that Rebirth came out. But also I could also see that but I could also see like, oh no, that helps promote the game. But, you know, I could see either way of them looking at it. But then also they saw the success of Astrobot and now the game's out and they're like, cool, throw them in there.
Yeah.
My guess is why they didn't initially do it is I think they're trying to cut ties, with exclusives on PlayStation. Sure. So they didn't want that, like, the signal that they're still on board with PlayStation. But yeah, I think Game of the Year definitely changed their minds for Astrobot.
Yep, get him in there.
Now, we've gone through all the news. That was definitely the longest news. That was a long...
We are approaching...
Tangents in there?
We are approaching whole episode length at this point, and we're just through the news. Thankfully, I think what we've been playing is a little skim this week. I mean, I can't talk about what I've been playing because it's still embargoed. What do you got going on?
I don't even know what you're playing then. What the hell? I don't know what you're playing. Okay. Emily, what have you been playing?
So I haven't been playing too much except some stream games. I just finished up my replay of Psychonauts.
Psychonauts is so good.
Yeah, I'm so happy to have revisited. I played it back in the day, and it's so many memories. Just playing through that again.
And 2 is so underappreciated.
Yes,
I played it for the first time like right before Psychonauts 2 came out, and I thought it was fantastic. Like I loved it.
It's such a gem, and not enough people talk about it. So that's why I wanted to choose that as my first game to stream on my channel.
Yeah,
it was a good choice, I think.
What'd you think of Psychonauts 2?
This is also why I wanted to replay Psychonauts, because I wanted to replay it before getting to Psychonauts 2.
Okay.
I'm glad I kind of went this path, and I think I need to watch the VR thing because there's that side story.
There's a side story.
Yeah. I'm not going to play it because I don't have a VR set and I'll be sick, but I'll watch it.
2 does catch you up enough if like you don't like engage with that. It's fairly
like an hour though, right?
Yeah,
I could just watch it.
Yeah, it's not super long.
Yeah, I admittedly I don't know. There was something missing for me with Psychonauts 2. It just didn't have the same kind of like whimsy that the first game had for me. But I know some people that absolutely adore that game.
It was my game of the year 21. So
yeah,
yeah, I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, like I think it's a well-made game, but I was just like, there's something missing here that just wasn't really grabbing me.
Psychonauts 2 is the game I choose to be salty about whenever people talk about like, oh man, like, finally we're getting good 3D platformers like when Astrobot came out. I'm like, Psychonauts 2 is right there. Like there are
right.
so many good 3D platformers that have come out in the last like 5 years, and like you just need to pay attention to the other ones. Like, god damn it.
I think people don't like narrative 3D platformers.
I could see that.
They're more kind of level based ones, which is fine. I definitely lean towards the more narrative ones though, like Jack and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank.
Yep.
All those.
Yeah, I can see that as being a reason for sure.
Cool. I've been playing Legend of Dragoon, and I'm not gonna get into spoilers. I'm not gonna get deep dive, but I just know that for the next few weeks, that's primarily what I'm going to be playing. So, and I just don't want to be like, oh, I have nothing to talk about because but I just finished disc 1. And so I'm enjoying the game so far. I like it very much. The mechanics, it all feels like its own thing, and I really enjoy that. The party, Lavitz is my guy. I like Albert. I like Dart. I think Dart is a solid main character so far. Like, I wish there was a little bit more growth to him at this point in the story.
Yeah.
But I know that like
working with that translation.
Yeah, but I also know that like what his kind of like main goals are, and just the story is not there yet.
Yeah.
So, there's certain characters that oh, okay, you're in the party now, I guess. And I'm just kind of waiting for those characters to expand a bit. But I'm really enjoying it. I like the combat. It's like just perfectly not too long for each battle. I like the active timed inputs. That's another thing that's like made me get through this game slower, because I can't play this game on a portal because I don't want the lag to affect my
depending
stuff.
on your local Wi-Fi. I've been able to get by fine, but I think I just have a decent connection where I am. But it's such a variable based on your environment.
Yeah.
Are you hardwired in?
Oh yeah, I mean the system's always hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm going to stream play as a system, it needs to be hardwired in. That's like a base requirement.
And I like how the inputs actually add to something more than just like, oh, the amount of damage you deal. Like it builds up your limit bar, for lack of a better term. It's really good. I'm really enjoying it. I'm excited to play more. I just wish it wasn't I will say, because for some context, Emily, and I know you listen to the pod, so you might know some of the story, but like I've been super busy with like work and stuff, so I haven't been able to play a whole lot. So I've been playing, and normally when it comes to Legend of Dragon, like, or JRPGs, most JRPGs, if I like plan on playing this, I want to make sure I can sit down and I'm playing this game for at least 3 hours. Like that's like the ideal situation for me. But because I've been so busy with I haven't been able to do that. So Legend of Dragoon being a 50-hour game, if I think my clock's at like 13 or 14 hours, it feels like I've played way more than that. And I just want, and I'm like, okay, let's start getting like at least to the climax of this game. And I know that I'm not there yet. And it's just that kind of how my brain sees time, where I'm just like, oh man, this game feels so much longer than it actually is. And so I'm trying to, now that I have a bit more time, I'm hoping that I can knock chunks out day by day. But I'm also playing Lunar, which is our next campfire game, and I played that before we decided it, because normally how it is that me and Kevin each pick 2 games, and then the Patreon community gets to vote on it. And so I was already playing Lunar because Gung Ho sent us codes, and I was really enjoying it. And now I'm like, I love this game. This, like, say what we will about the auto battle stuff and like the combat being easy. That's a whole another topic. But like this checks like so many of the boxes of like what I look for in JRPGs. Like, I really love the world. I think it's super fascinating. I really like all of the characters, all the party members. It's like the localization is really good. Like, it gives so much personality to all these characters. And there was this plot twist near the end of the game that I experienced like last night or 2 nights ago, where I literally like dropped my jaw. I was like, oh my gosh! Like,
I saw you posted about that.
yeah, I literally dropped my jaw, Kevin, when that moment came.
Yeah.
It's really, really great. I enjoyed the auto battle stuff. Like, I think it really fits the systems at play there.
Yeah, and you can tailor it too how you want it, which I had fun playing around with when I played the remastered as well.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I think I don't mean to complain when I talk about the auto battle, like making it easier. Like, I actually do think it helps what makes the game work shine a little better for a lot of people,
Yes.
because like the original releases were very grindy. Like, they weren't necessarily difficult. They just required you to grind a lot because your stats mattered to that degree, and like it was very time consuming. So I actually do like that. I think the auto battle sometimes maybe turns the brain off a little too much, but I think what really shined about Lunar as a game for a long time, like, is much more the vibes and the story and the art, and you're able to appreciate that a lot more because you're not stuck grinding at a dungeon for an extra hour.
Yeah, it's a bit more of a streamlined, I think, experience that you could really appreciate. You know, the thought that went into how they structured the game.
It really is a game. I can't even tell you the last time I played a JRPG like this, but it's definitely like the first game in a very long time where I'm like, boy, am I glad is there a second one for me to play after this.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and boy, am I
supposed to
gonna
be
be
better.
sad.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. And boy, am I gonna be sad when that second game is over. Like, please, whoever we need to talk to, make a third Lunar. Like, I'm begging
There is
you.
a third. I don't know if you want to play it though.
Oh, there is a third?
On the DS.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I don't know if it's technically a 3 or like a spin-off, but it's
a spinoff
it's
probably
rough.
more. So
Yeah, it's a rougher one.
it's a big meme game.
Okay, give us a proper 3, because I love that game. I love I love the cutscenes in between and when they're introducing characters and like big events happen. Like,
Yeah.
I love it. I think my only gripe is that I wish Alex was a bit more interesting as an MC. But again, because the entire party are so like charismatic
Very
and
strong personalities.
Yes.
very strong personalities, I kind of like am okay with it. It's more so not the lack of personality for Alex, is that there's just a lot of like big moments where he should say something and it's just ... I'm like, dog, say something, dude.
Yeah. He's a bit of a hybrid of like a silent protag, but he does speak still, but he's still kind of, someone that I guess the player could so-called, embody if they wanted to, especially with those ...
Yeah, I feel like most of his strongest dialogue comes from like romance moments, basically. Like,
yes,
'cause romance is such a central
sure.
part of that game, like just story-wise. Like,
yeah,
everybody
all the
sure.
couples.
yeah.
Oh, for sure, definitely. But yeah, I love the party. I'd probably say Jessica's my favorite character so far. I really like Jessica.
I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jessica's fun.
I like her dynamic with Kyle.
Oh yeah,
so much.
I need to get
Yeah.
that far still, because that is the one thing with the remasters. They did redo all the voice work, which like I didn't have a problem with any of the new stuff I heard. Like when I started it, I haven't not gotten as far as you. But there was a certain, like, I don't want to say that the original voice acting was better, but it's just so ingrained how certain things sound, and like even when they're awkward or weird. Yeah. Oh god. Like the opening of the game when Null yells Alex's name is ingrained, like burned in my memory, because it's so raspy and like it's like Marge Simpson yelling. It sounds so bad, and I love it.
I might have to go back and I'm sure someone did a comparison video of all the scenes. I might have to watch something.
Yeah, I think it'd be worth checking out.
Cool. But yeah, that's what I've been playing. I've been enjoying both of them. I really need to get back to Legend of Dragoon, but Lunar has really gotten me by the throat. Like, I could probably finish Lunar like in my next sitting. I'm like at the very end of the game. Yeah. So, yeah.
I think I told you earlier, I sat down for 3 days straight and just played it. It was so fun.
It's great.
Sexy one.
And also, like, W on them giving you a teleportation item, like,
Yes.
very early in. Because if that wasn't a
Killing
thing,
clutch.
it would have been way more stressful.
Just tedious.
Cool.
Yeah.
So now we're going to get into the topic of the show for this week. And with Emily on, we had to talk about the world of collecting and what that entails and the beauty in it and also the pain in our wallets. But yeah, so Emily, I don't think I ever explained said this to you, but like I actually knew you before I knew Brendan when I like worked with him at Anime Expo because I found your YouTube just like I don't know how I found it, but I was just like
algorithm gods.
I saw like big collection in the background. I'm like, yes, let's check this out. And I also saw that you were a Trails person too. I'm like, perfect. Oh, love this. And I saw all your Trail statues. I'm just like, I need those so bad. Like, because I'm not. So my main collection stuff outside of games is I'm not super down the path of Kingdom Hearts statues because there's just too many of them. I
Also
try to
Square
get
Enix qualities. The statues.
yeah. Well, so here's the thing. I have most of their bring arts, which is like their smaller figures because they're just more cost effective and like all that stuff.
I prefer those two over some of their other ones.
But I do have some of the play Kai arts for the characters I really care about. Like Riku, I have like the Riku ones. And then I have like the ones that were like dedicated to a certain game. So I have like, there were 4 that they did for Dream Drop Distance. They did like normal Sora and Riku and then Tron, Sora and Riku, which I bought I bought all of those on eBay. The Sora one came with Nomura's signature on the box. And I like, yeah, I like at first I was like, this can't be real, but worst case, I still have it. And I looked, I'm like,
cool.
That very much looks like Nomura's signature. So I got those, and then I got like some of the ones that just like there's no Bring Arts versions of. Like Roxas and his like Twilight Town gear instead of like the Organization 13. So like I have like most of that, and then they have like their new plush line, and I'm a big plush guy. Like plushes go over everything for me. As long as the design is good. Like I think NIS's designs are cool. And then Square's did theirs. I'm not crazy about those.
Guy.
Yeah. I'm not crazy about the plushes that Bracer Guild shop has been doing.
I didn't pre-order because I was nervous when they only just showed the concept art and not a sample. Because before I think diving into like person dolls like Van here, I had some K-pop dolls, and I've seen just how awful some K-pop dolls look if you pre-order before the sample is shown. So I was cautious, and I'm glad I didn't pull the trigger.
Yeah,
because they look a little derpy.
Yeah,
look, I'm happy. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say I hate when that like how often that happens where it's like you don't actually have a sample yet, but pre-orders are already up. Like you want me to put money down on a thing, and oftentimes canceling is not really an option in those situations either. So it's like the biggest leap of faith of like, I hope this looks great. And like, I pretty much never pre-order without a sample because I'm that paranoid of just, hey, if I'm going to spend money, I need to know what I'm getting.
Especially a new shop. Like they have to kind of, show what they could do before you want to buy it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't something cheap. Like those were expensive plushes.
Yeah. No, plushes are so expensive. I actually have a holy grail, which is the Dusk, the Nobody Dusk plush that Square did like a long time ago. And it's like you might be able to find it on eBay, and it's like hundreds of dollars. And it's just like it's the one if I catch up on the Kingdom Hearts plushes that I currently have, if I get that one, I will have all of them. It's like because there were 2 that I had to get through third party that were expensive as well. Like I got the Dream Eater, the Meow Wow plush that they did, and then they did one for Chirithy as well. And those are like really big, like really good plushes. But that one is like it's really hard to find, and when you do find it, it is not cheap. So maybe I'll get it someday when I have money to throw around. But
Maybe
it's like,
you'll have some luck at Japanese proxy services. Like that's where I get a lot of my rare
Yeah.
finds for good prices.
Yeah.
So
that's
maybe
how
someday.
that's how I got the unversed Kingdom Hearts plush, because it was Japan only. That was the only way you could get it, so I had to get it imported. So I'm really happy I got
Yeah.
that before. That's like the new one. That's like just super hard to get.
Okay. Yeah, like
But
Sergaia, Mercari JP,
Yep.
yeah,
Rakuten. Sometimes even like used plushes, if they're in good condition. Sometimes those prices are
I'm
much
a
nicer.
I mean that opens a whole nother box of like new versus used. I'm a very much like, if I don't care if I have to pay more, I want that shit new.
I see.
That's just how I
For
am.
me, it depends what it is, but I do find at least if you order used on Japan, it's so much nicer than anything used like
that's
in the
fair. That's
States.
fair.
Like they
Yeah.
keep their stuff together and very tidy.
Yeah,
That's totally fair.
100%. And also just like to emphasize it for anyone listening that is like thinking of collecting stuff, like really, if you ever see stuff that is exclusive to a country and you look at how people are selling it over here, don't just like pull the trigger on that. There are
No,
ways
don't
you can
impulse buy.
import. Yeah, there are sellers you can work with that will be able to get stuff to you, as Emily was mentioning earlier, and you will get a way better price. So much
Most
better.
Japanese merch, yeah, you don't usually want to go through eBay or sellers at US stores.
Yeah.
Oftentimes,
Yeah.
if you go through some sort of Japanese seller store, it's much cheaper just to import it here.
Even
Barring
paying the
tariffs,
shipping.
of course, but we're not going to talk about that.
That's a whole other that's a whole other headache to deal with, but it still ends up being net worth it, especially if you're buying
Yes.
like in bulk a little bit, so you're just lumping the shipping all
Yes.
together, like
That's why I
Christine
love
does every now and
proxy
then.
services.
Yeah.
You have everything like stored in a warehouse for like a month and then you ship it out together. And so you
I
save on
use
shipping.
I use Bai for
Yep.
my proxy,
That's a big one.
because
Bye's
I had to use
good.
that to buy a bunch of Twice finals that did not come out in the
Mm.
US.
Yeah.
Because like I'm not like one of those people. Not trying to get back to K-pop. I'm not one of those people that like, oh, I need all the photo cards. For me, at least with Twice right now, I just make sure I just try to get all the vinyls, because I'm a big
Okay.
vinyl guy. So that's like another part of my collecting is vinyl, but I'm not trying to dig into that today. But that was like the instance where I started using that.
That's better than photo cards because the photo card rabbit hole is
That's
not kind. I did collect a little bit for a while. I've stopped.
yeah,
It's too much
that's a
now.
lost cause. That's a lost cause.
Too much now. Though my
You
group,
can't have
the main
other
group I
hobbies.
collect for is not do anything, but still.
Yeah, you cannot have other hobbies if you collect photo cards for a group that you like or whatever.
No, so hard.
But yeah, so I'm and then also I remembered that there is actually a Papu fruit plush that's only in Japan, and I
Mm.
pre-ordered it on eBay, and then like there's all this bullshit whatever. I ended up not getting it, and I'm really upset about it, but I still need to, like, I've seen photos, like recent photos, and they're still available. Like I just need to
That's good.
get it. So that's nice. But yeah, so it's mainly like the Kingdom Hearts plushes. I'm trying to get the Bring Arts. One of the things that I'm definitely really behind on, but I will catch up on, is those Pokeball replicas.
Mm.
Like I told myself, like, if there ever is official Pokemon or Pokeball replicas, I'm buying all of them. And so I've bought like 5 or 6 of them, but there's probably like 5 or 6 more at this point.
Yeah.
And but they are good quality. Like I'm really happy with them, and like I really want to catch up and then just like have them all displayed on a wall together like
Mhm.
eventually. That's the thing that's tough too, is like I'm in a place right now where I don't have the room
Means to
to display everything. Yeah, the
Yeah.
means to display everything. But I used to have like a huge backdrop and everything. So
Yeah, when I
but
first started my
yeah.
YouTube channel, actually, the wall behind me wasn't here. I was living with family, and so I just to film videos, I just had to find anywhere that had natural light. Any wall would do, and so I didn't have my collection at all displayed. And so it wasn't until I moved out that I was able to, have some sort of setup that I could display everything. And I'm still living in a very small studio, so I have to be very conscious about what I, add into here. But space is definitely, I think, a huge issue for most collectors.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
it's okay sometimes to wait. You don't have to have everything set up right away. You could start, collecting some things purposefully and then wait to display them later when you're in a better situation for doing that.
Yeah.
And the last thing I definitely like and wanting to collect, which I'm very jealous of you, is that you got all those Trails figures.
Mhm.
Like, so do you just get the Kotobukaya ones, or do you?
The Kotobukiya ones are the 1/8 scale ones, and they're the ones that they've mostly made trail speakers for. But I also have the Quest Key ones, which are 1/7 scales. And so they've only done 2 of those so far. The only, I guess, trail figure I'm technically missing is Elisa got a swimsuit version like years ago. I actually saw it when I was in Japan last time, but I didn't want to pay a lot of money for it because I like Elisa, but I didn't need her swimsuit version.
Yeah,
it was like the one piece, school uniform, like swim outfit. Like she was cute, but I knew I had her other figure from Quest Q on order, so I think the main issue right now is Kotobukiya keeps releasing Trails figures, but they've been kind of starting to do duplicate characters. Like they have now 2 Altinas. I'm like, where's Van? I want Van or some of the other characters you haven't made figures for. So I actually cleared up space on my lower shelf there just for Trails figures that are coming. But I think space might be an issue if they keep it going, which I want them to keep going because I love all the characters, but they are expensive for sure.
Yeah, my local game shop, like my local game store.
It's expensive. If you buy it from there, I'm sure.
Well, so actually, they only have Reen. They have Reen there right now. And
he's out of print, so that might be something to consider.
Yeah, there's like 3 of them there, and last time I looked, it was selling for only 180. And so
that's not bad at all.
Yeah. So I that is probably the first one I'm gonna pick up just because it's there and it's easy to get, and like no one plays Trails. So, and I live in Reno, so like no one plays Trails in Reno, so no one knows who this character is. So I'm just kind of waiting until hopefully they lower the price even more, and then I'm like, okay, let's pick it up.
You're like, I'm one guy in the area.
Or watch them put it on eBay and get it snatched up.
That is very possible. But
who are the other 2 characters though that they have?
Huh?
Who are the other 2 characters? Because there's a couple characters you might want to grab because they are very hard to find for good prices right now. Because once the Kotobukiya ones go out of print or issue, they start to skyrocket in price, unfortunately.
Well, so 2 things. It was all of them were Reen, but there was just 3 copies of them. Yeah,
I see.
But when it comes to the Koto figures, I literally went to their booth at Anime Expo last year, being like, "Hey, are you reprinting these? Like, can I like?" It wasn't ones that they had in stock. I was asking like, hey, like, so here are these ones that you made that are like $400 on eBay that I'm not trying to drop. Like, are you gonna like? I showed them like the Risha and like the Ren, and I'm like, are you gonna reprint these? And they're like, yeah, we probably will. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm trying to be patient. I'm trying to be patient and hope that like they,
I think Ren at least has a good chance of being reprinted close to the remake.
That'd be really cool. I want to. So like it was when Estelle came out where I was like, okay, I need to get Estelle. But then like my whole life collapsed. I literally could not do it. And now Joshua's coming out. I'm like, oh my gosh. Thankfully I found a random site that I think is legit because there's like a lot of listings for a bunch of them. That
which site?
It's called like X Figure, like EX Figure. And they have like listings for like 6 or 7 of them, and they're like not gouged out price wise. So I might try and when I can get the Estelle one at least just to get starting, because like when it comes to the Sky characters, the Liberal characters, I'm like I need those for sure, but I want to get all of them of course eventually. But yeah, nice. some of those posts are just not. Yeah, it's so good. I really want
just to wrap
the Joshua already came in?
He released a few weeks ago. And what was cool about Joshua is he had 2 different faceplates that wasn't like an external bonus. They were just both included. So I have the one where he's subtly smiling and he's next to
nice.
Estelle. Yeah. And then I had her pre-order special face because how Kotobukiya does it is on their personal store, so not the other third-party sellers, you can pre-order with an additional faceplate, and so this is her yelling. And I had to get Estelle because she is best Estelle.
Yes, she is. Yes, she
It's a
is.
little bit more expensive to import that, though. Though recently, Kotobukiya just opened a U.S. online store, so they will provide those pre-order faceplates. The only issue is they're kind of expensive. So I don't know if they're raising prices in anticipation of more tariffs or something, or how they're working. But at the moment, my go-to when it comes to pre-ordering figures is AmiAmi. So they usually are very safe to pre-order from, and so far they haven't had any issues with tariffs because all these figures are made in China. So in theory, they should have tariffs attached to them right now in the U.S. But what AmiAmi's been doing is they're country of origin. They haven't been putting China on it. They've been putting Japan, which is exempt right now from tariffs. So they've been the safest bet. But there's also some other websites that I like to use, like Seed Japan and a few others that are, I think, good ones to consider if you want to pre-order these figures and kind of whichever ones are coming out and are having reissues. That might be something to consider.
Yeah, the few
because I
times
also know that. Sorry, go ahead, Kevin.
I was just saying the few times that I've tried pre-ordering certain specific figures, or because I don't get into statues quite to the same extent that you two do, but every now and then there's a very specific one. I'm like, okay, wait, I kind of want that. AmiAmi has been one of the go-to options as far as a major established one.
Yes, and they ship pretty quickly right after they release without delays, and they're shipping everything. I've had no complaints.
Yeah, I grabbed all the when they were releasing the Final Fantasy Tactics figures, the posable ones. I did all that through AmiAmi and just had them each come in one at a time, and not a problem whatsoever. And solid prices. These are ones where you'll see them get relisted pretty quickly for US as well for direct distribution, and it's still competitively lower. And they often even if they close pre-orders, they often buy additional stock just in case something goes wrong. So they oftentimes wait a week or two after a figure's or released, and they'll have a few more available for people just to buy right away. And what's also nice about AmiAmi is they have a used section, which, as I mentioned before, used figures are kind of almost brand new to me. And they have different grades. So that's often a good kind of place to look for figures that are out of print or don't have brand new ones available.
Cool. Yeah, I was just browsing through AmiAmi. There's because I remember you've mentioned the site a few times online or on in a video, and I always forget it. So I'm going to bookmark this site, so I don't forget in the future.
And that's
they're good. Also, another one other than CD Japan is Ninin Games. So NIN-NNIN Games. I used to use them actually to order from the Japanese exclusive Kodo shop to get the faceplates, and they would offer those before the US shop opened.
Cool. Yeah, there's just so much, and it's really intimidating because we're again on top of all of the statues and all the non-game stuff, we're still collecting games too, right? And I know that at least I think that most of outside of some indie stuff, which I think is just a little bit more specific, I think most of the mainstream things that came out on Switch I have. There's a few things that I know that I'm missing that I need to just get eventually. And sometimes you fall victim till you wait too long, and now those prices, they're not over the amount price, but it's still much more now, and you're oh, this is probably never going on sale again. And now I'm probably gonna have to that happened to me with Tactics Ogre Reborn. I saw it for $30 pretty consistently on sale, and I was just I'm waiting for it to get to that $20 price, and now it's $45. I
think sales right now are very difficult for new games. Oftentimes, I think a lot of publishers have been printing lower quantities, and so there's less of a chance for it to go on deep clearance. And one of the tactics I've been seeing, especially from places like NIS America, is they would release very small quantities at launch, and then they wait to see what is the demand. And they've been using this one online store in Canada, Video Games Plus, as a place to kind of gauge what is the demand for a reprint. And so they've been basically just using them exclusive to have these reprints available, which I feel a little bit iffy about it. It's nice they're doing reprints, so you don't have to pay over MSRP, but it does kind of make it so that we can't have those clearance prices for physical games anymore. And it's also kind of enabling some FOMO where, okay, I have to get this reprint or reissue or whatever right now, or else I don't know if it's going to come back.
Yeah,
So.
well, and VGP leads into that. Like, if you ever go to their website, the landing page is all the biggest upcoming drops where it's like, hey, this classic game
Buy this now.
it's like, it's coming up. You want to be ready for that. I mean, that was the number of people I saw freak out when they did the Cold Steel reprint.
Yes,
like,
I bought that.
and that went out in seconds, like that sold out immediately. I bought it too.
That was a huge reprint.
Yeah. It's a rough thing. It's one of those things.
And we're seeing too much of, I think, the limited print run kind of model happening with physical media, which I feel very torn about. It's nice we still have physical copies available, but at what cost?
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things where it's also I sometimes view that approach as like an inevitability of Cam and I have talked about this a little before in terms of like the solution is either that happens more often or the physical is just phased out all the faster.
Yeah.
And it's not.
I think the boutique thing is where we're heading.
It is, absolutely. And it's not my preference. It's not what I want it to be, but that is just the natural evolution of where physical is going to go, especially in the indie space, especially in JRPGs where it's like, look, we're a larger audience than we've been in the past, but we're still a relatively niche one. And we're also the audience that is buying physical much more often. And so that ends up really leaning into that aspect where, people want to buy physical. And I mean, that's even why when the whole game key card thing was, first being learned about for Nintendo, that I think it was VGP who even said like, hey, yeah, we might want to talk to some of these devs and see if we can get like real physicals printed, like in collaboration, because they know that demand is going to be there for certain titles.
I wonder how much power they would have for that. I know they got, with the Cold Steel 1 and 2, we never had a standard edition in the US for those. So that was cool. But I wonder how much they could really negotiate with certain publishers.
Sure. Yeah, and I'm sure it's a wild card for every publisher, right? Everyone has different standards requirements, or you talk to the right person in marketing. I'm sure that's a whole rabbit hole to dive down into in terms of
it's going to be expensive.
Yeah.
Because those things are like $15 or $16 a pop right now for a true physical on the Switch too. Yeah. Supposedly.
Yeah, but just the supply costs of using those types of cards. Yeah. And that's part of why a lot of devs are moving away from it, because of what it costs to actually like print that media.
Yeah. What'd you guys feel about Beyond the Horizon getting that Switch 2 Game Key card announcement for $10 more, mind you, than the other versions?
I really thought NIS.
I thought they'd be like Marvelous or Xseed, but no.
Yep. Yeah. I feel like that they understood their audience, and it seems like that they do not. Sadly,
they're doing the industry standard.
Yep.
Which I very much question. I think they've got to backtrack on that. Like, I can't imagine this.
Yeah,
doing well for them.
I would be so curious to learn the actual like background nitty gritty of what the like profit margin difference is and how much it actually impacts business. Because even Marvelous was sort of like, look, we're happy, everyone's happy that we did this. We don't even know how often we can actually do this. Like there are certain titles where it makes sense. There's going to be titles where it just doesn't make sense. And there's so many factors that go into that, right? Demand for a particular title, what the investment cost was in producing that title in the first place. Part of the problem with how long prices have been standardized is that, people go in expecting any game to be, it's going to be 60, or now 70 has become more standard. But no two games have the same investment budget and like overhead and what actually like makes it worth. That's why back in like the more Wild West days of like the SNES, you had games coming out for, one game would come out for $70-$80 and another one would be 40. Like it just depended on the game.
Was Chrono Trigger like $100 at launch?
I believe so. Yeah, it was up there. So that happens. That used to happen at least, and now we're so used to standardized pricing that it creates this headache in these scenarios where a dev doesn't want to price up or down relative because they know what they can get, or what they know they have to deal with, and that is a new wrench in that decision of like, okay, well, what are we going to do for physical copies then, and how many?
Yeah. Well, I think there's a silver lining to all this, even though very much a physical media supporter, but it's made me a bit more conscious about which games do I actually pick up physically on which platform. Because part of my kind of, I guess, collecting philosophy is I like my games fully on the cart or the disc and not have to deal with, any sort of internet requirements. And my early Switch collecting days, I actually picked up a number of games, not realizing you need to connect to the internet to actually access everything.
Yep.
So I guess kind of all this stuff about game key cards, being very upfront that you're not getting the game on this, it's just made me more deliberate and okay with passing, but for certain titles.
Yeah, and I think there's been an increased awareness of that situation for a lot of folks too.
Yes.
I mean, the greater consumer base, not really, but people that like make it a point of saying they care about physical are now paying more attention to like, and that even happens with re-releases and stuff, right? Where it's like, hey, it's just going to get a re-release that actually has all the content. Because like, I understand you released it when the game came out, and then you released like 3 DLCs. Is there a reissue? That again is for a smaller dedicated audience, but like, is that going to happen? And it's a question I see come up all the time with like indie devs and their audience asking questions. I'm fairly active on the server for Sabotage Studio, and there's people asking all the time about like, hey, like, are you going to do like a re-release of Sea of Stars where it has like the free DLC as part of the cart? Because I would like to have like a complete version of that, and I don't mind supporting twice. That certainly is not the average customer, which is the battle that devs need to be aware of. But
sure.
Yeah.
I think a more boutique kind of option for that might be the way to go, though. For me, it's been more difficult to try to, upgrade my physical version, if you will, because of just, how many patches and revisions come out. Like a lot of first-party Nintendo games, a lot of their carts have multiple revisions numbers, depending on how many updates they have. And so trying to keep up with that has also just made me more patient. Like, I don't need to buy this right away because maybe a revised version will come out. Right. And so you kind of, risk the, maybe this game will go out of print and reissue won't happen. And you're going to have to pay a bunch if you want a physical copy. But I feel like that's a gamble I've been taking more often these days.
Yeah. It's just a natural part of the process. Like, like you said earlier, with like fear of selling out, like it's just, that really is the biggest thing, is you just never really know. There's so many factors, and some things don't get advertised or talked about, like revision numbers. Like most people don't pay attention to that, or even are fully aware that's a thing. Like,
I think I talked about this on the pod, like, I don't know, a few episodes ago, but I experienced something similar with Sword and Shield, where they re-released it with the expansion pass content on the cart.
Right here.
Damn it!
I just made a video on this.
So ready to go.
And I didn't realize how short print it was, because I definitely had opportunities to buy it, but I didn't do it, and I waited. And now it's like $250 fucking for one of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
For one of the two. And so when Scarvi came out, I was like, especially when the game just was not in the position it should have been in at launch, I was like, I'm waiting for the complete edition, and I bought both. I pre-ordered both of them when they came up, and now I'm like, cool, fuck y'all, fuck you, Pokemon Company, I got mine. But those are two for me now. Those are two grails like that. I'm just gonna be like, yeah, I guess I'm gonna drop how much fucking money for the complete editions of those games.
I will say, I guess to allude to the video I made about this, even though the DLC is on the cart, there's actually an update that came out after this was released. So technically, if you were to update the game, you're going to have to download everything back, onto your system, because even it doesn't really register that the updated patches that are on here, as well as the DLC, is on the cart. So there's kind of some internal storage issues that kind of come up with this. Though if you play this offline, you'll of course have, up to when this is issued, the patches and the DLC, which is, I think, what matters mostly to collectors. It's just a little bit annoying about the patches that come afterwards. It's not on there, which is a little disappointing.
Yeah, and depending on what those patches do, it's like, oh great, it fixed a critical bug. That's wonderful.
There's that, or we just align the text a little bit more centered.
Yeah. No,
something
sometimes
very
they're
minor.
that minor. Yeah. Absolutely.
So what are some of your grails? Like, what are some like in the sense of like, what are some of the things that you like hope to get that you don't have yet that are, um, top of your wish list, your want list, whether it be games, statues, what have you?
So I feel pretty good about my statues. I a couple years ago got my girl Cordelia from Fire Emblem Awakening. Her figure was expensive on the aftermarket, but I used a proxy service to not make that price so bad. She's still probably my most expensive figure. But in terms of grails I don't have, I think I really want the PSP version of the Sky Games. Ideally, the collector's edition, but I'm also okay just having the standard copy. And some of the Fire Emblem games I don't have, though. Mostly I think, the GBA ones. So that'd be cool to have the cardboard for that, but I think I'll be okay just having the loose cart.
Yeah, GBA is definitely a platform where I've given up any idea, like any sense of getting.
But most cart-based systems, the difference between CIB and loose is massive, like much more than disc-based games. Because most people with disc-based stuff actually kept the case because you needed to. Carts, that was cardboard that got wrecked and thrown away all the time,
Tossed out
constantly. Yeah.
But I think what's nice about the cardboard, at least there are really good repos out there. So if you want the semblance, of the original cardboard, like I wouldn't be against getting that for much cheaper, of course.
Yeah.
And just knowing that it's a repo, I guess won't bug me too much. I don't know. I haven't done it yet. So maybe it does bug me because I haven't done it yet.
It's one of those things, right? Like, because like, whether and you're not trying to pass it off to anyone as anything, but you just want the display piece. But like, there's that terrible part of your brain where it's just, you know it's a repro, and just I absolutely have that kind of impulse sometimes, and it's the worst, dumbest thing ever.
I know, such expensive cardboard that is unnecessary and would have so much wear and tear, over time.
Oh yeah.
Kevin, do you have any high on your wish list? I know Dragon Quest VI on DS is one for you.
Yeah, that's what I'm missing, because it's literally the one. Like, I don't have every Dragon Quest release, but I have each game in some form that released in the West, and 6 is the one missing one. Which that price is not getting any better. It was bad when I was first hunting, and it's only gotten worse.
It might get better if they remake those, though. They kind of alluded, right, that trilogy is going to come out
probably
at some point.
Probably keep moving. Which I'm pretty good with, like, as long as it's like a solid remake. Like, it's very rare for me to be like, oh, I need to have like the original version of this. Like, there's some games where I have that impulse a little bit, especially if there's like a very significant design shift that ended up happening with re-releases. Like Tactics Ogre is one where, like, I do like Reborn a lot, but I'm glad I have the physical of the PSP version to play as well, and the original PS1 version, which is a very different game, despite the same title. I think, I ended up being able to pick up a lot of the really big ones I was missing. There's a couple franchises I have yet to start collecting where, like, the individual prices aren't terrible, but the total cost of, like, okay, I'm finally going to grab all these. Like, Wild Arms is one where I only have 3, and it's like, oh, I really wanted to, like, pick up XF and, like, original PS1 releases, and, like, oh, that adds up if I'm trying to grab all those. I don't think I have any, like, wild over the top holy grails off the top of my head right now. One I have been thinking of doing lately, I was joking about this on the server, and this isn't terrible. The PS1 limited edition, I don't know why they call it limited edition, because it was the only edition of Ogre Battle that came out. That one I think goes for like 180 to the low 200 depending, because it's also one of those things where, like, it had bonus items in the packaging that not everyone has. Like, there's a foldable map, so whether or not the copy includes that has a big impact. It's also the double decker style case for PS1, so those are a little more annoying to, like, actually get in good condition, because you can't just replace these as easily as the other single disc versions, just because of how they're assembled. So that is one that I've been thinking about lately. I don't have anything that's like, thousands of dollars on the top of my head, but there's a few where I'm like, like that would be cool to get, but that is also 200. The joke I tell myself right now is I should just buy the Ogre Battle one, because then the remake will come out. Like, that's just how it works. You finally spend however much money, and then Like Square Enix is keeping tabs on people buying used games, and they're like, "Oh, we can finally release this."
Uh, one of my big wants, and that's super pricey, is the Pokemon Center Game Boy Color that came out during Gen 2. So it has Pikachu and the Johto starters
Oh yeah,
on the screen.
That would be
Um
nice.
and the box is really cool too. Like because Game Boy Color was like my handheld. Like I love
Mm-hmm.
that system. And Pokemon Crystal is my second favorite game of all time. Like I I want it so bad. And it was funny because I think it was like 1 or 2 PAX Wests ago. This one booth, I think it's called Dial Up Games. I'm cool with plugging them because they always do the hookup when it comes to PAX. Um, they had one on their like main display shelf. Like I don't think it was new, but it was complete in box. And man, I wanted to, and I could have spent the money for it, but but it would have been irresponsible. I spent the money on it, so I didn't. And but man, I want that so bad. I want it so bad because also like they're not region locked, so like that could be my new Game Boy Color. You know what I mean? That could be
Yeah.
like, but
Would you mod
man,
it with the backlit screen?
huh? Oh, if
Would
I
you
when I'm
mod it
out.
to have a backlit
yeah.
screen?
Would you leave it pristine and untouched, or would you mod it into like
Oh,
you know
I
with
would.
the
So I would buy it new, but I'm definitely opening it. Like I buy my things to be opened. So
Yeah. But
I would
would you deal with the hardware?
yeah, the
Like,
mod
would you do
yeah,
modifications?
would I mod this? I don't think I would.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I would cuz like I don't know if something happens and future like partner or something, it's like, "Oh, selling all this shit, like you're going to get more money if you sell it as it came." I don't want
Sure.
I don't know. That's like this is a very random thing to think about, but it's definitely something I think about as a collector. I don't know if you ever think about this. It's like where all your shit goes when when you die, but I'm just like, oh,
in
this
my
is
tomb?
money. That's actually I'm super glad you said that. Are there any things that you own, Emily, that you like would ideally want to be buried with?
I don't
No,
know.
because this is a genuine thing for me. There are
I'd
certain
be
things that I
cremated.
own.
Yeah, I was gonna say like buried with
Put it
what?
in
I'm
your
just gonna use
urn or
ashes.
something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No, yeah, put it with your ashes. Like I'm just telling you, like, so I mean, I'm pretty sure you
Mhm.
have it. I've seen you talk about it. Like the Trails pocket watch from
The
Super
ornament.
Groupies.
Yeah.
Bury it with me. Bury it with me.
That's not too bad because it has a necklace, right? It could
Yeah.
just be on your
Yeah.
neck.
I also
That's
have
not.
like a really good Sora replica necklace that I get complimented for a lot that like I bought at like at Hot Topic like long time ago. But like
Mhm.
ever since then, I've never seen a replica because I look every now and then like, oh, are there any good, Sora necklace? It's the best one I've ever seen. And like bury me with it. Like I'm wearing that shit. I'm dressed up. I got that thing on me. Like, you know what I mean? Uh there's a few things.
But you
I don't
mentioning
know.
Pokemon reminded me. I want Soul Silver on the DS.
Oh
I missed
yeah.
out on that one. Silver is my
I
game for Pokemon.
You want to hear devastation. So my dad passed away back in like 2020 and I went back to my childhood home to grab my stuff and I knew that I had like a pristine copy of Soul Silver. Like
Uh-huh.
pristine.
Yeah.
The box specifically.
Mhm.
And I accidentally put a bunch of clothes on top of the
Oh.
box. And now on the top end, there's a giant bend. And so I was grieving twice that weekend. You know what I mean? Like
Jesus.
uh, I was, I was devastated, but I still have my, OG crystal box. And
Hmm.
that is in very good condition. Like that is
That's
like very close to new condition. I don't know how, because it was definitely in
good.
like some sort of garbage bag at some point in my life in the garage. But yes, I actually don't know where it is right now, and now I'm starting to stress. Don't you know? Like,
Oh,
that's the thing about being a collector is like when you don't know where your shit is, your your important stuff. and now you're just immediately being like, where is it? I need to know where it is. If not, I'm going to like crash out. But anyway, yeah, that so I'm happy about that. But Soul Silver, yeah, very sad. And then I did sell specifically the game, like back when I was in high school, like when it came out. So I only need the game technically, but because I still have the Pokewalker,
Nice.
and all
Yeah,
like
you
all
have
of
the
those
expensive
things.
stuff.
I have the
the
box.
hardest part to collect. Yeah.
All I need is the cart. Like I have everything but the cart.
Which still doesn't go for like cheap, but that's much better
No.
than having to get the rest. So
I think so.
Yeah.
I do want to shout out. So I can't think of any like massively expensive things I want, but I can think of one that Christine wants.
Okay.
And this is one of her holy grails. And what's really painful is there is a store nearby that has a copy that's in very good condition, but they also know its worth, and so it's listed for its worth.
Mm.
Magic Knight Rayearth on the Sega Saturn. Do you know how much this game goes for, Cam?
Probably thousands.
Yes. It is a minimum like 1,200, I think, for like just like a decent copy. There are people listing like factory sealed ones that were found for like 10K. Like it is just one of those games where there wasn't a lot of copies. Saturn in general is just expensive to collect. And it's a game that like had multiple versions in Japan, but in the West, I think Saturn was the only one we got. And so it's just worth a ton. And it
Do you have a Japanese copy at least?
I don't think I think she has debated doing that instead. But the siren call of the true rare one is always there.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, because I think the Japanese copy is far more affordable. Like not even that's not even a hesitation in comparison. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes the art's cool too if they have different box art.
Yeah.
But
especially
yeah.
I mean there are so many releases where like the label art is so much better for the Japanese versions than what we have.
Yeah.
I have a couple where I have the Japanese version because it just looks better, like the NES versions of Mega Man versus the Famicom ones. Tactics Ogre 64, like the label in Japan is so cool looking, and then the US is like a logo and a name, and that's it. Disappointing.
So disappointing.
So we talked about our wants. What are like your creme a la creme? Like I'm so happy I own this. Like or if you have any like sort of maybe some unique items, like things like that, to show off that or talk about that, and maybe the story of how you got them, if it's worth talking about.
For me, I'm glad I bought the Fire Emblem Fates special edition when I did.
Yes,
that's mine.
Yes, me too.
That I always bring
me
up.
Too.
I have on CIV, and it's worth so free. Not my favorite Fire Emblem by any stretch, but I'm glad I have a true complete version of it.
Same.
Yes.
And I make sure to plug it into my 3DS so it doesn't, the flash memory doesn't die on me.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
3DS games, also Switch games.
Yep.
To as general maintenance, you want to do this every 5 to 10 years. Plug them in the system so that it self repairs and that the flash memory, keeps good.
Yep.
Oh wow, that's good. That is very good to
right
know.
now,
I did not know
a lot
that.
of 3DS games are actually dying, so I recommend if you have a 3DS collection, just pop them in for a few minutes.
Damn, do I have to open up all my 3DS games just to put them in my?
You'll be sad if
unless you
put
plan
one
to keep it
in
sealed
years from
anyway,
now and doesn't work.
That's fair. That's fair. I should probably do that. There's definitely some older like 3DS games that I have too. So
there's already some that are like been known to have really bad carts too, like the first print of the Persona Q game, and also the Pokemon Alpha Sapphire. Those ones have been, or whatever they're called. Those have been known to fail like recently, so you want to double check on those.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna open up Persona Q as soon as I can because that was actually one that I got for a steal. I remember going to Target and they had a bunch of 3DS games, like random pile of 3DS games on clearance, and they had one Persona Q, and I'm like, cool, grab that. It wasn't even in their system.
Nice.
They just manually put like video game $15. I'm like, here you go. So, but that was just like one of my like fun get stories. But I have a few holy grails just around things. A lot of them are Kingdom Hearts related, but it is what it is. One thing I'm really happy about that I have replicas of all three Winnie the Pooh books from the Kingdom Hearts series, because Winnie the Pooh is like my favorite Disney property. I just grew up watching Winnie the Pooh. I love those characters, like, and just growing up with them again through Kingdom Hearts, I was just like, yeah, that IP is really special to me. And I always thought the books were so cool. So they did like these, like, they're empty, they're like, there's no pages to them. It's just more like kind of like think of like just a storage case type thing you can open up.
Mm.
But I have all three of those, and I'm really happy about those. Those were only released in Japan. A lot of the cool Kingdom Hearts shit was only released in Japan.
I think that's the case for most JRPGs, right? Like
Yeah.
Trails, definitely so.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's another thing I just like generally need to catch up on is I want to get like the collector's editions from like the Japanese versions of some of the Trails games. Like I know that like one of the Crossbell games comes with like a Vita case, and I'm like, I want that shit. I want that for my Vita.
As Emily, you just have everything within reach.
Yeah, that shit's
like,
so
Very
sick.
nice.
You have like not had to move.
I got
your
it
chair,
super
like, an
cheap
inch.
too. I think off of Suragaya. Like I think I paid $5 for it with the whole box.
Oh,
Nice.
oh my
So-
gosh, that's so good.
With free shipping if you use the English version or the global version for Suragaya.com.
Yeah,
Pro
that's
tip
dope.
there.
I do have. This is really interesting, and like, if I ever get an opportunity to go to a Kingdom Hearts event and meet Nomura, I want to bring it with me and show him because I don't know what it is, and I'm curious as to what he would think of it if I just showed him it. It could very well, a Square Enix rep could just rip that shit out of my hands and I never get it back, like that type of thing. But I bought a lot, like years ago, like back in 2020, that came with a bunch of Kingdom Hearts stuff that was definitely worth the value. Like I definitely got my money.
Sure.
And one of the things that came with it, which I didn't know came with it, was seemingly a PC demo disc of the original Kingdom Hearts. And it's sealed, which is why I don't know. I never checked to see like what it is. And I've asked so many people that are like really into Kingdom Hearts, like, do you know what this is? And they're like, no, I have no idea. Like it, and they came to a similar conclusions. Like it's probably a demo disc. And so I'm hoping that if I ever, once Kingdom Hearts 4 comes around and Square's nice enough to invite me, that I can just be like, hey Nomura, outside of signing my arm for a tattoo, could you tell me what this is? So
For demo disc, do you think it maybe goes to like one of the kiosks for like a PS2? You know how they have, those little like demo like
kiosk.
carts they have for Switch, and I'm guessing that's what they did for PS2. I'm not really sure.
I will have to like send you a picture of what it looks like because
Okay.
I really don't know. I'm not a PC guy, or like I'm not super
Any sort of
like,
disc, yeah. Like if it's a DVD disc, it's possible it's not just PC.
It very much looked like one of those demo discs, that old PC demo discs, like when you just look at it. So I'm not sure, but that's really cool. And it's in a case and everything. Like it's really cool. And then the last thing is I do have a copy of, it's not Kingdom Hearts 2. They tried, my friend tried, but he did get I got gifted a copy of Kingdom Hearts 3 signed by Nomura. Because my friend Alex Van Aken, who's the senior video guy at Game Informer, they went to Japan to do a story for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And while he was there, he tried to find a copy of Kingdom Hearts 2, but he failed. But he did buy a copy of Kingdom Hearts 3, and he just told Nomura, like, hey, I have a friend that absolutely loves Kingdom Hearts. Like, would you sign this game for him? And so he gifted it to me at the Game Awards like 2 years ago. Kevin was there for it. So yeah, I was freaking the fuck out. I was like, I was running to everyone I knew, being like, look at this, look at this. And yeah, that is probably my most cherished item. Like especially because it was a gift, right? It was like someone thought about me and how much they know that Kingdom Hearts means to me and was willing to do that for me. Like, yeah. So that's probably like my top 3 of that just immediately come to mind. But I'm also just like in general very happy I have my childhood copy of Pokemon Crystal to this day. Like there's a few, I think we all kind of went through those stages where we sold games that we had a wide collection of, and Pokemon
I had to sell
Crystal was
games, play more games.
yeah. Pokemon Crystal was just the game that I never even thought twice. I'd be like, I cannot get rid of this. Also because the cart just looks so cool. You know what I
Yeah, it
mean?
does.
Yeah.
So
I never got
Kevin.
Crystal, but I played the heck out of Silver.
Oh yeah. I mean, they're basically the same, but
Yeah.
Crystal has a cool cart and
Oh,
a little bit more.
Crystal added a bunch of content. Like that was with
Yeah,
the
Yeah, you could
whole
play a
Suicune
girl
arc
for the first time.
and that.
Oh
Yeah.
right. Yes.
Yeah, and the whole Suicune
don't-
arc is different, whereas Gold and Silver is just it runs away with the other two, and you.
And see, I never played them, so I just assumed that they were very similar.
Nope,
So-
Silver.
Little differences.
It's a pretty drastic different one, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Kevin, I know that you have a hard out soon. Is there any thing that you wanted to mention really quick before we wrap it up?
No, I mean, as far as just like rare stuff, I have, like I mentioned, I do have the Fire Emblem Fates one. Like that's just.
Yes.
You knew the moment they announced that there was going to be that bonus DLC on the cart natively, like, oh, this is just going to be rare, and people are going to
It's so
want
hard to find too.
it. Yeah, and just once the
Like I did
3D
buy it from someone else used.
yeah, like once the eShop went down, it's just only gone up in value because there's no other way to get that
Yeah.
DLC anymore.
I admittedly only have the I don't have the sling
box.
bag that it came that came with it because
Oh, the
one of my
pouch.
roommates at the time just like took it as like a pen and pencil case thing, and I'm like, that's fine.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I was okay with it. I was like,
Yeah.
no. At the time, I was like, I bought this for the game. Like that's why I bought it.
Right.
So I'm not upset about it. And it's not going anywhere. So, yeah. But outside of that, like I'm glad that we all have it.
Yeah, and then I mean, I have a handful of like fairly rare stuff. I've got the PS1 release for Persona 2, Eternal Punishment, the one we got at least because we only got one of the 2 games that are both called 2. I have an assortment of a few that I'm happy I was able to lock down, but there's always more.
Of course, always one.
Oh yeah, one additional small thing. I do have complete in box, like it came in a protective thing too that I'm really happy about. I did get the Persona 4 dancing Vita
Oh, nice
system. So very happy about that. That's like probably like my favorite limited edition handheld that I have. But
Very nice.
Emily, thank you so much for joining us. We now just got to get Brandon on here, and then we've acquired all of the JRPG stones. Actually, well, we need to get David on here too. But like, you know what I mean with the podcasting side of things. Please tell the people one last time where to find you.
I'm over on YouTube at Orbology, and I'm also on various social media platforms like Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram. And our podcast, the JRPG Pursuit, is also on YouTube as well as all other podcast platforms.
Dope. Kevin, I know you don't have anything else to say. You can find me on socials at CamFinalMix. You can find Kevin on socials at Kevin Kenson. Thank you everybody for listening, and until next time, I'll catch you later.
Later.
Bye-bye.